Another day in the world of Asperia. Join us as we continue to discover and explore, and joining me are Zareth, the half-elf assassin rogue. Hello! Sorry, he'll be a little late. He'll come in later. Borden, the dwarven cleric of Kazia.
Hello.
And Sidaria, the divine warlock of Illumina. That's you, Brett.
Hello, hello.
Lucilin, the elven arcane archer.
Afternoon.
And Oscar, the half-elf draconic sorcerer, who will also be here hopefully later. Hello. As we left Dancing Light, they were completing a task for Minerva, and who sent them through a wild adventure through the Sandstorm Tower out in the middle of the desert and lands north of Parenthia. A blue-skinned, feather-bearded Sydney and Zareth, not affected by wild magic, are greeted with an invisible force, placing them against the wall as they went inside the interior to get a peep on that little discussion. Minerva and Borden go over ideals and deals to be struck, and all that good stuff. Let's see what else we got here to deal with the vampiric threat north of Timor. There is a vampire coven. Its target group wanted to capture to be turned in for a bounty. The infamous Smiles. Slip of the tongue included Minerva in her dealings, invites her. I know this sounds a little whack. I'm just going to speed this up. So the group makes their way back to Calvona with the aid of Asira, who helped them with magic teleport circle, and they walk. They go make purchases. Oscar finds a pair of sending stones, gives one to Liana as they go back to the Whispering Woods retreat. There they find Ninny back in her full form. Training was taking place. After trading the stones, the group gathered back, and Oscar started to use his new spell after getting a full rest. Gosh, I'm really out of it. I don't know why I wrote all that crap. And perhaps sensing the magic used through Osira, Oscar starts mimicking the teleport circle, and the group heads back to Timor Kingdom. Upon returning back to the office building, they find Riley speaking with an elf named Lucilin. And there they have a candid conversation about things, as Leo seems to be going through some troubling trials as he's taking care of some kind of itch on his right hand where that insignia used to be. Eventually, after finding the fox dead and he could no longer call forth the powers of Illumina, Leo pretty much found himself broken and left the group to go search for some way to either redeem himself or whatever path may follow. And with him leaving and everybody kind of catching up with their new friend Leslin, they decide to all go to the guild, look up the bounties, find information, and on their way out to go to the temple and split up. At that point, they were jumped by about 4 or 5 assassins in the shadows, and with quick measure, the group helps the guards subdue 2 of them, kill the others, and that's pretty much where we are now, right? But let's see here. Since Zareth is not here, what I would really like to do is maybe time skip a little bit, and we'll come back to this. So this scenario is going to be like a pause for a second as we cut to a little future scenario where who was going to the temple? I know Borden and Leslin. Anybody else?
I would.
And well, actually, all of you would be, right? All right, so there you go. All right, let's get cozy here as I pull up one note to double check something. So in Timor, there's this. What do you mean you couldn't open this page? Oh, now I'm really upset. No. Alright, fine. Be that way, OneNote. I didn't need your help anyway. Yeah, I did, because I needed names that I don't have it listed anywhere else. Anyway, you find the priest inside the temple. As you walk in, you see the several pews lining the way, the podium up front. You see a red figure dressed in like red leathers and a white snowball cap. The top part of the cap being like a snowball. Jolly old man Arum dressed up as Father Jubilee. And there's a bunch of kids who are gathered up in this room, and they're just having like one of those days with Santa. As there's also like a meal being prepared. There's like a little dining area set off to the side. And there's this woman who's over there preparing a meal for all these kids, and Father Arm's going around with this big red sack and handing out wrapped up gifts for all the boys and girls there. Probably looking at about 4 or 5 boys, 4 or 5 girls just kind of wandering around helplessly, and just grabbing these gifts, coming up there, sitting on his lap, and he's in the middle of one of them, telling what they want, and you kind of just walk into the scene as the priest is just kind of watching over the scenario. You all come in like from the outside. You're coming in there and you're catching up this festive scene. It's like maybe a week or so away from Jubilee as the month's starting to get colder and you guys are getting further along into the date. So there are definitely like holiday events that are just cropping up, and Father Arm had already told Borden that he'd be participating as Father Jubilee. So here you are. You have a scene where Father Jubilee is passing out gifts to the kids and asking little boys and girls what they want for Jubilee. The priest will kind of notice everybody coming in and just go, Borden, how's everything going? Everything going fine?
Finally made it back home. Had to take a short trip.
That's good to hear that you're all safe and sound. Where's your half-orc friend that usually travels with you?
He's currently seeking his own path, as it were.
I see. Well, as you can see, we're having a little festivity tonight as Sister Teresa from the orphanage decided to bring the kids over to see Father Jubilee. And he kind of motioned towards your Father Aram over there, just kind of pat one of these kids. So you tell me what you want for Christmas, young lad. And he's like, I want a toy car, or, like a cart that you can roll around and have a little horsey drawn on it, a little toy horsey and cart just to pull around the floor. And is that all you want? Well, if you've been a good boy, don't worry. Father Jubilee will bring that to you. For now, you can have this one on me. And he hands him a gift. And he's like, yay, I'm on. And he goes off there to Teresa and say, look what Jubilee gave me. As you can see.
Bad, right?
Say that again there, Brett.
I'm still drunk, trying to sound sloppy.
Yeah, your mic's sounds
Your
like
microphone's
totally different from what it was.
Oh, bad?
It's kind of monotone, I guess you could say. Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it's coming through the snowball, if that's what you had before.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah, I can hear you now. All right.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Shouldn't they be worried of the kid there?
The father.
Jubilee? He's bad. The father?
The father, the priest, looks at you sternly. I'm sorry, are you misinformed? What in the hell is that on your face? Kind of gets a little grimace as he's looking at a blue-colored, feathery face. Make a Constitution saving throw to see if you can ever sneeze this beard away.
Okay.
No. You kind of ruffle your nose and then start to sneeze, but you don't, and then it's just still there. And you're still blue. It's like you haven't even done anything to get rid of it. But that's just you now. And he's
That's
like,
wild magic, my friend.
oh, you did say you had to go somewhere and deal with some stuff, I take it, Borden. Just kind of directing the attention back to Borden.
She turned blue and got a beard.
Feather beard.
So she got the feathery dwarven smurf. Got it.
She really did get the Papa Smurf job, just about. Like a little red cap and she's gold.
Well, we could take the one off of Jubilee's head. That might help, huh? But no, for now, no, child. And he kind of turns to Sydney. It's like, Jubilee's not evil. Why would you even think that, child? And why do you smell like booze? Kind of wafts the air in front of his nose.
Because we got through the tower. and just want to drink this one time. And then they told me that the dragon that Jubilee flies with eats children. They are horrible.
You are so misinformed, child. No. Jubilee may have his sled pulled by a legendary red dragon of sorts. Then again, it may also be only fable tale, fairy tale, something you tell the kids, and scare them to be good. It's just one of those gimmicks, and you need not worry about the holiday, ma'am. Your misconceptions, you just need to put them aside.
I kind of look up after saying a few prayers, and I just chuckle a little. Never put much faith into this whole Jubilee business, but keeps the kids happy. Why not?
Of course, it's just to keep the kids going. Their spirits need to be as solid as any. Well, I welcome you all to come and join the feast if you're hungry. But is there anything else I can help you with, otherwise, church-related or not?
Predominantly, I came to visit Aram. As you know, we go back, and it is the holiday season. It'd be nice to spend some time together.
I think the last child's just about to get off his lap, so I shall leave you to it and get these kids to dinner. And about that time, you see a little girl get like a wrapped up doll, and he's like, well, alright, well, there you go. You can have that for now, dear, and I'll just make sure I come down with that present for you. And he just kind of gives a jolly, wow. And he stands up and he looks towards you all, and he's like, Borden, my boy. It's time to get festive for the holiday. How you been? He kind of comes up there, pats you on the shoulder. How's that business going? Everything going well with you and yours?
Things aren't going too bad. All together.
That's
We've
good
had
to
a
hear.
friend
Good to hear.
leave,
Oh.
but he'll find his own way. I'm sure of it.
It's a shame whenever somebody leaves, but I'm sure they had their reasons. Well, see you brought some other companions with you this time. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting? Oh, how you doing there?
This is the blue one. Is Cindy?
My lady, that is quite a look there you got. Do you want help with that? Kind of tugs on your feathery beard.
I hear that it might explode when it goes away. Sorry, shouldn't have drinking alcohol.
You do reek the stuff. And I'm sorry I interrupted. Who else do I have the pleasure here?
A friend of the man Riley we have employed to help guard the house, Lucilla.
Lucillin. I'm trying to think, and this is me coming out of character. Did we say there was a relation between Lucillin and...
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Lucilla came and visited and helped mind.
A few times over the years.
It's been a while, Lucillin. Yeah, what have you been up to, my boy? Or...
Good evening, Father. Good evening, Father, old friend. Just usual. Came back for Jubilee and decided to stay in town and relax. It's good to see you in good health.
This old town can't keep me down just yet. Oh, if only I had that red dragon to scream across the sky, I would just make everybody's day, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, calm down, miss. You ain't seen the herd of half of it. I'm just kind of joking with you there as he kind of like points over to the children who are opening up presents now. We're about to sit down for this little feast. Have you met Sister Teresa? She's running the orphanage in my place. Borden, have you met her?
I don't believe I have.
And I don't know if you have either there, Lucillin, have you?
Don't believe I have.
Well, come on, my boy. Puts
be
an
a-
arm on each of your shoulder, kind of jollies you in. Let's go meet her then. Teresa, and this nun-looking lady kind of turns her attention. Yes, Father. Meet Borden. This is one of those orphans I housed up into a full-grown dwarf. Look at this man. He just kind of pats him proudly. And this here is Lucilin. He's one of them elves that come visit us every now and then. It's always a pleasure to have their kind come around and pay patron, just pay the visits, because it's... Lucilin, how long has it been? A couple years, you say, and it's like a blink of an eye for you, right?
That's a good way to put it, though. Do believe I've been here when you were away, so that might be why it's been a few years.
Yeah, I told Borden, I passed on the orphanage to this fine young woman, Teresa. This is Lucilin. And she's like, yes, proper greeting. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure, man.
All right, kids, let's sit down, mind your manners, and say thanks for the meal. And they're like, thanks for the meal. A big cheer going around. And this, like a festive turkey is out with cranberry sauce, all the fixings that you would expect around Thanksgiving in our world. You can pretty much see like a feast here for all these kids to kind of partake in. Basically, it's a little church dinner that they have with the orphanage that is now housed in Timor. And the priest just kind of comes over there casually and just kind of enters himself into the conversation. Well, Father Aram, I must say these kids are Father Jubilee pets him into the ribs. So I'm pretty sure these kids are quite happy to finally see you. And he's like, yes, they are. I hope these kids will keep being good. And it's just this jolly atmosphere that's kind of taking place. Well, did you boys want to eat? Ma'am, do you? Just kind of point to you guys.
Yes, if possible. Though, do you have anything that can fix being drunk, such as lesser restoration, maybe?
How about some water? Here, let's get you some water. And they pull you over to the table to get you some water and some food. And everybody's presented with an extra chair at the table. This long table filled with children. The Father Aram at one side, you guys on the other side of him, as you can watch all these kids having their way with the meal with Teresa, making everybody's plate for them. Even you guys, she finally gets to you, asks you what kind of helpings you want, and she serves it up for you, and you all have this nice little meal. She'll offer spirits and water and tea. And for Sydney, you only get water.
Yes.
And I assume tea for Borden and tea for Leslie? Or would you want spirits of sorts?
Oh.
I know why it sounds weird. There's no music. Let me play some music. There we go. So, yeah, everybody's here eating. You can see Father Aram and the priest and Teresa finally sitting down to their plates, somewhat across from you guys in different parts of the table, but the kids are like on one end of the table, the adults on the other, so you're still within close proximity if you want to have a conversation with any of the adults. And they're just chewing away, so whatever conversation you want to bring up, be my guest.
So, Father Arnold, is Mr. Gordon here your protege or something of the sorts?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is the young man here, Gordon, is he a protege of sorts?
I don't know who you're talking about. Are you asking Arm, or are you okay, you said Arm. You're asking about a protege. Are you...
Gordon, yeah.
He's asking Father Arnold if Gordon is his protege.
I don't know who Gordon is. That's why I'm like,
Stop being, obtusely dense. Put it together.
Is Borden the protege of Father
Aram?
No, he was just one of my boys I raised at the orphanage. He's his own man, aren't you, Borden?
I do tend to think you put me in good stead.
I mean, if he wanted to come into the clergy, it's all up to him to, like, become a priest if he wanted, but, he's more fit for the adventuring type and spread the word of Kazuya to wherever he feels fit. I mean, it's always the grace of adventurers like you that make, you adventurers need to look out of Kazuya to watch your back. Or whoever you may worship. There's no protege. I mean, he's just someone who needed raising at the time.
My apologies. I just wanted to see the connection here. It's always interesting to see how our paths interweave.
Oh, yes, most definitely. No, like I said, I used to run the orphanage until Teresa here took over in my place. Getting a little old. These bones don't last forever for us humans, I'm afraid. But this dwarf here, he was without a home, and I gave him a home with the orphanage, and grew up to be a fine young man. Fine young man. Just kind of casually keeps patting Borden on the arm from where he's sitting. And, just trying to stay jolly, especially for all the kids who are watching him.
So she runs the orphanage now?
Yes, I put it into her care because getting too old to keep up with all these kids, and as you can see, there's quite a few of them. I mean, I do stop by every now and then and visit and play every now and then, but I can't keep doing that forever.
Huh. Hey, Teresa, can you tell me what the orphanage life is about and what to prepare to do orphanage myself? Because that's what I aspire to do.
Well, we just bring in kids who have been orphaned. I mean, it's not that difficult. You go to the streets, you find someone unattended. You must know if they have family. If they don't have family, they need family, and that's why we bring them into our family. And, it's just the law of the kingdom that all children who are abandoned must be raised somehow, so therefore they finance the orphanage. Father Arm started it years and years ago, and here I am just taking up the stable in his heat. And now that, that's completed, he can enjoy his retirement knowing that I'll keep these kids in line. Isn't that right, kids? Yes, Sister Teresa. Comes a long chant from all the kids, and then they just laugh and giggle and start playing with their food a little bit. A few of them taking decent bites. But for the most part, the kids are just having fun.
And Cinderella has a smile on her face. Oh, this kingdom ain't so bad anymore now I think about it. Sips water.
Yes.
Chuckling to herself.
Yes, young lady, just finish that glass of water. That'll help you lose some of that addled-mindedness you got suffering right there.
Unfortunately, my experience, it's always after times of war, during times of war, that you would find the most amount of orphans. So when you do open it, miss, and war does happen, you would be smart to keep a good lookout for such a thing during the war. You'll find plenty of orphans, believe me. It is an unfortunate side effect.
Indeed it is, especially since the Demon War claimed so many, and those were the days when the orphanage was pretty full. Oh, those are dreary times. Yes.
Do feel free to get in touch if help is needed.
Oh, yes, I'm sure I will. For me, anyway, I'll definitely be sure to drop by if something comes up, but for right now, these old bones can still move around on their own. I'm good. And the priest just kind of says towards you, and don't worry, we'll get in contact as soon as something comes up. Matter of fact, the more I think about it, there might be something I can use your help with in maybe a week or so. Like setting up right before Jubilee actually hits. We could probably use some help in a soup kitchen we're planning on setting up.
Well, I can actually cook pretty well, if you want my help.
If you would love to, I mean, Borden here, he kind of owes the church a few favors, and it wouldn't hurt to have him around to have some help, and if you want to come along as well, that would help pay the charity forward. I wouldn't decline your help, miss.
That sounds wonderful.
Alright, great. I'll look forward to seeing you guys, and I'll send a messenger down to your location as soon as I have a date set up in time, and I'll have you guys come up.
So, I know that I already know kind of what Lucilin did, but I don't think Borden knows exactly, so it's gonna...
If you want to
The
have a
two of you seem to
conversation...
know each other rather well. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I was around you, I don't think I saw him.
It is quite a coincidence that the two of you be walking in together.
I'm not surprised you don't remember me. I tend to be a face in the crowd at times. Try not to bring too much attention to myself.
Always staying to yourself, Ian.
Well, that's the life of an elf outside the forest. You either attract good kinds of attention, but that's rare, or you find yourself, accosted by certain individuals. But my apologies, I don't believe I have much of a recollection of you. Like I said, faces in the crowd.
Let's see here. Let's kind of think about this for a second, because, I'm not pulling specifics here or anything. But just to kind of shine some light on things. Father Arm having contact with Lucilin doesn't necessarily give Lucilin, knowledge on the orphanage. You may have visited the orphanage, but I think, the past couple years, if you have visited the orphanage before that, you would have probably met Borden. But if you haven't visited that often, you may have not been seen around when Borden was there, and Borden might have been officially out by the time you paid your recent visit. So I don't think Borden's been in an orphanage for the past couple of years, right?
It's
I've been out for a good number of years at this point.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and my visits are once a year to different orphanages.
Okay, I'm just clarifying on my end since I can't pull specific details, or I just want to clarify it so I know what I'm doing here. Professional. Yeah, thank you, OneNote, for crashing on me. Fuck off. No, that's the OneNote, not you. Anyway.
Wait, so is it Gordon or Borden?
Borden. It's
Borden
written right there on his screen.
Oh, would it be
Box or
yeah, in his
bread.
box. Everybody's got their name written out there. It's Borden. Borden. No.
I am curious, however, what led two of you to an adventure? It's mighty dangerous work.
It is. But dare say if I hadn't, we'd be down a few souls.
The great call of Kazi, it brings you where you're needed. This is basically what Aram says, and the priest just kind of nods to it. Sometimes it's not a temple you need to be in. Sometimes it's out there on the field doing the goddess's work.
Yes, saving children, bring them to a safer land.
I
That's
take
what
it you've had dealings with children in the past there, Sydney, was it? Or
Yes,
oh yes.
trying to save magic users from the Citadel Kingdom.
I've heard of some nasty stuff over in that direction too. So you've been helping them. That's a good thing, I'm sure. Children born with magic shouldn't suffer whatever it is that they think they can do over there.
It's a cruel, cruel fate. You see Cindy now have a really, really sad expression.
There, you're in the tip of the wind, goddess. Nothing here needs to be sad. I'm sorry if I brought that up upon you, dear. Oh, yes, let's not get sad as Father Aram gets kind of revved up, having a good bite of turkey. He's like, We should all have a song and be merry and wish these children a happy jubilee when it comes. Are you kids excited? And they're like, yeah, jubilee, woo woo. But yeah, for the most part, able to enjoy a nice turkey dinner. And Zerath, are you back now? Okay,
He's not even in here.
Okay, I saw his message and I didn't know if he was here yet. So yeah, we'll keep going. So, is there anything else you wish to discuss? Go over with Father Aram, the priest, or Teresa while they're here?
I mean, I'd go ahead and ask, if there's anything between now and the soup kitchen they could use assistance with.
I imagine at the moment he's about to ask that, I probably asked it at the same time as.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The kids, helping out.
Oh, the priest is kind of like sitting there like, oh, what else do we need help with? And kind of looking for Aram for answers, and Aram's just kind of got his finger in his forehead. It's like, let's see here. Well, there might be donations around the city. We asked for like warm clothing and coats and stuff and capes and cloaks so we can wrap these kids up nice and warm for the winter months. Maybe you can go around to these donation spots and see if they've turned in anything and then bring it here. There's also like at these donation spots, there's also like toys that they can donate as well. Just pick up the crate, whatever's inside, bring it back to the church. Leave it out there for now, not today. Today is fine. Tomorrow, I'll give you this list, and you can just go around the town and pick these crates up and bring them by, okay?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, that you could do that tomorrow. And then, day after that, if there's still something you want to do, we can, we can always find something, right, Father? Well, the church can always use somebody to go around and spread the cheer of Jubilee, I'm sure. That's the spirit, Father. Alright, but yeah, just come by tomorrow. We'll send you out on some errands then. No need to do it tonight. I mean, look at this meal. So stuffed, I think I'm about ready to go to sleep. How about you kids? And a couple of them are actually already asleep. And Teresa's like, I better get these kids ready and we're going to head out.
I can help carry them for you if you need help.
Sure, that'll be fine. And
I kind of looked to board and seems like unless I'm misinterpreting things again, apologies. Us elves have different customs. You wish to speak with the father. I'll step off to the side and give you some space if required. I do believe someone needs. Oh, please, no, that seems a tad bit heavy, and I go to help.
All right. So you help round up the kids, and Teresa's like, "Well, thank you, sir." And then you board and are left with the father and Father Aram and the priest. Father, he'll be like, "I can leave you as well if you need to. I'll help Teresa get these kids."
The clergy doesn't bother me so much.
Well,
it's not that they're all on the same side, so to speak, or anything, weird.
yeah, but he's kind of taking it. Okay, this is just up to you. He's taking a cue from your friends who are also going to help, and it's like, well, I'll either go help, but I could stay here as well. But he knows that this is your father figure, and maybe you want to spend a little time with him alone. So he too also wants to try to give you that respect. So he'll wander off there and just kind of casually watch as these kids are slowly walking out towards the door. And then Father Aram will just kind of turn towards you. So, what else is there to talk about, son?
Well, you remember the half orc we used to have with us, Sir Leo?
A very strange fellow, but, a follower of their light. Lumina doesn't pick many,
He Would I recognize it as a geese, or was this more than just a geese?
Make a religion check. Or Arcana.
Good.
We'll go with religion.
Because my Arcana's crap.
Yeah, religion makes sense too, I guess, because this is a divine that did it, or something of a divine. No, not exactly a geese. You just know that he had some kind of mark that might have compelled him to do something. But you can't lay your finger on it precisely. I mean, you have your hunches, though. Your natural hunches kind of tell you, so.
Yeah. I was just thinking,
But you can't confirm it 100% to tell him like that, you know. But it's your information.
Yeah, he had a mark on his hand.
It did, huh?
Had to undertake a mission for, let's just say, someone of a questionable type at times.
Well, there's plenty of people like that, I'm sure. Look at me. He just kind of jokes with you a bit.
It's more of a concern. You know, obviously we've seen things moving and shifting, and you know, at least how I had when, you know, Arm's a bit well read. You know, he's been around a while.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd know about the miasmic stones, and so he might know them by name at least, what they do, not, you know, where they are or any of that crazy crap.
Alright. So what do you want to tell him?
So he came across another group that's been collecting these stones, presumably to break the barrier.
Odd.
And this is a bit out of my league, as it were.
Yeah, you do it anyway. So, I'm not sure I'm grasping everything here, Borden. Boy, let me see. So, your paladin friend had this little mark on his hand, and you kind of sense he may have been led to do something, and you collected these stones or something. I mean, what am I hearing here? Am I getting this right from you? Am I getting it right?
You're not too far off. The stone and the mark were related.
What did you say these stones do exactly? Like,
The ones that the Arcana was responsible for, they sort of divide the mortal realm from the higher beings.
oh, those stones. I wasn't quite sure which ones you were talking about. He rolled a natural one on his history check.
Yeah,
But no, after that reminder, he's like, okay, because I was like, you say stone, he can't put it together with just stone. But now that you brought the information of the Arcana, which is the actual reason, he's kind of like rushing his memory. Oh yeah, that stuff. Okay, so there's a lot of pieces to that relic. How far along does she have it? Or he?
she had 2 pieces left to go get. I think it was. Was it 2 or was it 3 pieces left, and she knew the location of 2?
2. And Father Arm just kind of stops, and he's like, "What? This might even be beyond me. I mean, I'm not sure this is something that should be brought back. I mean, apparently, now correct me if I'm wrong, but if I recall my history correctly," and he kind of waves a finger in the air, he's like, this relic was put together once, and the Archmage who used it, he sacrificed his soul, and he is forever locked in the very plane that he sent all these Desians in the world that could cause the world, like, total chaos, total, what's the word, Armageddon-like situations, these monstrosities that could tear the part of the world asunder. It's supposed to, like, pull them out, so that they can't do that, because without the material plane, the rest of the realms will be in danger. If I'm not mistaken in my old teachings, just trying to remember all this.
Is that you being in character, or is that
Both.
you actually having a cough?
Both. I'm going to go with both. We'll say he coughed.
Okay.
But and he seems a little put off by it. Like this jolly mood he was in just kind of got stressed all of a sudden, and he's got this weary cough that's now coming out. He's like, I don't know what you should do. I mean, what exactly are you doing? Like, you just handed over a piece? I'm not.
Considering my friend was marked by this group, we didn't have much choice.
I wouldn't even know where to begin, Borden. If this thing
Strange
gets
times.
I don't know what would happen, because whoever uses it endangers their life, and they might bring turmoil to this world, and then we might have to collect these pieces again and right what was righted the first time. And I don't know if it's just weird, just to believe that these pieces are being gathered once again. It's just.
Obviously I'm not going to name drop Minerva.
Yeah, so you're avoiding that. But yeah, he's just kind of sitting there nonchalantly thinking about it. It's like, he had no care in the world when you walked in, and now you all of a sudden see this man who was jolly age like 5 years just from, taking all this in and just kind of like trying to wrap his head around it with what little information you're offering him. But, on the other side of the stuff, though, the rest of you kind of help the kids get into like a little carriage. There's a canvas carriage that they all have that they sit in the back seat of, and Sister Teresa's up front, and she's like, "Thank you kindly. We're going to head back to the orphanage now. If you, Sydney, want to come by anytime and help with the kids, you're more than welcome. We have teachers who come in and other adults who come in and just kind of spend time with the kids so that, they have the interactions of other grown-ups besides me. So if you want to come and help anytime, be my guest."
That would be wonderful, especially when I'm not drunk.
Yes, please don't drink, but I do believe you're sounding a lot better now that you had some water in you. Do feel free to come by and visit whenever you feel the need.
Thanks for the offer.
And she'll, in this instant, just kind of tell you how to get there if you decide to go there, so you know how to get there.
Okay, I will put it on the map.
Where your image of a sun is, right?
I will try to put it.
No, you'll know how to get there from where you live. So if you say I need to go there, you'll be able to go there. But
okay.
Let's see here. Zera's in the game. Is he still not in chat with us? No.
And while they're talking, I'm just entertaining the children with a little bit of a magic show. Nothing too fancy, but something I practiced over the years.
What are they watching?
Just prestidigitation tricks, just little illusions, little sensory effects, little fireworks, that sort of thing.
A couple of them laugh and cheer, a couple of them clap and smile. There's like a couple saying, "Oh, I'll be able to do that one day too. You just wait." And just those snobby little kids.
Yeah, basically just basic magician stuff.
And yeah, for the most part, unless you want to roll a performance check, I'll give you a flat. I can give you a flat 10, but if you want to really impress these kids, go ahead and give me a performance.
I'd love to try to help with that and do a little presentation performance as well.
Well, the thing is, you've been you've been talking to her while I've been doing this, and okay. I'll take the flat 10 because I am not gonna do.
All right. Well, I was gonna say you could just roll it, and if it's above 10, we'll say it's a lot better than it was. How about that?
Okay.
Just to see how well you impress them. It's normal right now, but we're gonna see. Yeah, you didn't do anything too extraordinary. So you're right. It was just a basic little, "Hey, looky," and they're like, "Yay, yay," and cheerful. Like I said, you still got a couple kids who are like sneering, just to be rude, because they're like, "I could do that one day too. You just wait. I'm gonna become a powerful sorcerer, yeah, and I'll show you." Just that kind of business, and it's Teresa's like turning around, like Settle down back there. Don't make me come back there. I will come back there. Jeffrey, get your butt down back on that seat. I will come back there with the paddle. And she gives him the sternest look, and he is like stiff as a board. That's what I thought. And then she'll dismiss the two of you and be like, thank you again. And
Pleasure, man.
And she too will offer to you, if you ever want to come by and visit, you're more than welcome. And you'll also know how to get to the orphanage if you need to.
Good, man.
Yeah, the horse giddy ups and the carriage starts pulling away. A couple of the kids kind of get in the back of the wagon. They wave at you and they're like, bye, happy Jubilee, happy Jubilee. Hope you get something good for Jubilee. And then it starts to trail off as they head off to the orphanage. And then as you come back in with the priest who was out there helping you as well, you can just kind of see Borden and Father Arm just having like the whole tone of their conversation seems to have turned to a dark tone. Like you can see concern and worry now in the eyes of Arm as you kind of make your way in.
I'm assuming we would notice their re-entry.
Yeah, you look up, you can see your friends coming back in. I mean, you notice them before you guys are, before you're noticed, but for the most part, Arm is just visibly concerned.
So the thing is, there is company. I'll change topic real quick.
Alright.
So, Lucilin, you think he's, decent enough to keep around?
Oh, you're asking this about Arm, right?
Yeah, topic change.
Yeah. So you guys are still trailing off. He's asking about Lucilin, and he's like, "Oh, he's pretty reliable from what I heard. I mean, he used to be in the military service quite a few years. I mean, elves live a long life, so and don't blame them for having like peacetime in their lives. You know what I mean? I mean, it just seems still so unreal to live beyond your years, beyond our years. Kind of jealous of that a little bit." But as far as him being, I would think he's a dependable man. I mean, I haven't, never once, like, there may have been a few incidents where he just kind of came in, helped me take care of a situation, and, I've known him not to be unreliable. I mean, I wouldn't say he isn't. He is not unreliable, if that makes sense. I'm talking circles, son. I don't know what to tell you. He's a good man. He goes around. He pays his visits when he can. He's a very busy elf, but I know his heart's in the right place, and he'll fight for what's right, I'm sure. Welcome back, you guys.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to step into this temple. Brings a little relief to my heart.
And the priest is like, well, that's what we hope to do here. Now, as far as any other church services, if you need to pay tithings for tokens, you're still welcome to do so. And like I said, we'll get those chores sent out to you to help us pay for the ones we gave you there a few weeks ago. God damn it, now I'm dying here.
Tidings for tokens? What's that?
Basically, there's like these tokens, kind of similar to how an artificer infuses magic into them, right? But like, there's these tokens you can use for like different tiers of things that I had written down somewhere. But
so they imbue cleric spells into them, basically.
Yeah. Basically, depending upon how much you offer. Like, once you pay an offering, it gives you the specific cleric spell. And if that's something you're interested in, I will definitely have that information for you ASAP. I'm sure it's in either one.
I don't need it at the moment, but
right.
It's good to know it's a thing.
Yep. If OneNote's still acting up, I can't get to that information. OneNote, why are you doing this to me? The most important kingdom that I need information on, it says we couldn't open this page. But continuing on. I don't know if you guys want to spend any more time here, but you're free to go ahead and continue about the rest of your day how you see fit. However you want to leave Father Arm and this crew, you can go ahead and say your goodbyes.
Yeah, I would say it's up to Borden. If he wants to keep talking to Father Arnold, my character would just go do some prayers. the whole archer, the wind, carry my shots and make sure they strike true. They do not strike those that I do not wish to shoot. Those type of prayers.
Very good. But yeah, Morton, what else do you want to do, if anything? Is Father Aram just kind of like trying to be cheerful around your friends, but at the same time, you can still see that look of concern?
It was more of like a heads up style, if there's something that I don't.
Yeah, he tried to dump some lore on you, but most of it's something you already knew already, I believe.
Yeah.
Then again, there's probably a couple pieces that you took away that you didn't know. But,
I mean, we'd kind of figured it was some bad shit.
Yeah. But, yeah, you guys are free to go ahead and head wherever else you want to head. I would love to go back to the scenario before we left, but unfortunately the people we need aren't here yet. So, where will we go after the temple?
Home, probably?
Yeah, home. That's a good idea.
Because we have a drunk warlock, which never goes well.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Might be sobered up a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys are heading home. I'm going the other direction. So. I just for today.
where are you heading? Are you heading back with him, or are you going to head to your home?
Well, I live separately, yeah?
Yeah.
But
So-
if we're going to meet up tomorrow to help with the kids, I could just meet them up at the temple again.
Yeah, have that conversation. Like, how do you guys want to tell each other, like, communicate how you want to meet the next day?
Right, so your friend over there, the one with the magics, she seems to need to lie down or something. Probably drank too much.
Yeah.
This is starting to get a little awkward. I'm going to head on home. If you ever need me, and I tell them the address of where I live. It's on the north side of town. Though I will be stopping by to help out with Father Arnold said tomorrow. So I'll be there if you need me as well.
Okay.
Just nice spending time with you today. It's not often we come across new friends, perhaps.
Well, indeed, not often I meet such interesting and feathery folk. And I kind of smirk at the beard.
Yeah, I know. I'm afraid to take it off.
Make a
I don't-
Constitution saving throw.
So they have to make Constitution saving throw every time it's
it has
Yeah.
to be a Constitution saving throw, and apparently they roll too high to stop themselves from sneezing. So yeah.
Or if I sneeze in real life, then
Yeah, it's a double standard. Like, I'll throw it out there every now and then, because whenever it's like being a focus of the story, that's like, yeah, let's go ahead and roll that. See if we can't get rid of that beer. But so far, we haven't been able to get rid of it yet, so it's there.
Yes.
And I'm going to say once you lose the feathers, the blue skin will probably go away too.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well.
But yeah, so basically everybody's kind of splitting up here. We're heading back into our separate paths. Sydney and Borden, as you're traveling back to the location of your office, let's go ahead and do perception checks as you're walking around town.
Perception.
Visual.
Yes. Nice.
Oh, nice job.
So, you see this street urchin, this kid. He's dressed in like dirty clothing, sandy blonde hair, blue eyes. You know, he's just got these caltrops. He's like lacing across the road, and you notice him doing this, and he's like, that's a danger, you know. He's throwing these caltrops, and he's hiding behind a barrel and looking in a direction as if waiting for somebody to cross over.
Okay, so we have a kid throwing pointy things into lanes of travel, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm. Seems like he's got a plan and he's putting it into motion.
Did I notice it as well or no?
Yeah, you both do.
Um,
Eldritch Blast! No.
No.
no, of course not.
Isn't that the Warlock's cure-all?
Well, Eldritch Blast to push them out of the way, maybe. But
No, you probably
Maybe.
kill that kid still.
hey, just at the cow traps, man.
Alright. But yeah, you see him
Yeah,
drop all
uh,
these caltrops out there. What do you want to do? I mean, you could ignore it.
No,
Oh, come on.
because that's
He's
gonna
just
get
having-
someone or something hurt, and there's
No.
enough shit going down right now. We don't need caltrop throwing urchins in the mix.
Yeah, you can see
No,
a horse, coming up the way. Go ahead.
I'm going to try to stop the traffic and glare at the kid. Say, don't you run away now. See what you've done.
I was gonna, do a circle around, alley behind the building, up the alley. He's sort of in the barrel or behind the barrel looking from.
Mm-hmm.
That way when he turns around, there's just a, I can't really even say big old dwarf, but there's a dwarf in the way.
Yeah, so here's what happens. Cindy says, don't you dare run. And he's like, you're not bossing me, and he runs. He hightails
Can I
it.
roll intimidation then?
He already looked away from you. And he's running down that alleyway, and he didn't look. He was totally blind. He runs into the stomach of Borden, and he falls backwards. He's like, ah, that hurt. And he's holding his head because he beat himself against that armor that you're wearing.
It's just splint.
Oh, okay. Well, still.
Bobby, it's still gonna,
Yeah, he wasn't looking. He
Not
hit.
correct.
He hit a hard spot, and he just kind of fell backwards there.
I'm gonna try
Ow,
to
that hurt it. Why did you standing there? I'm trying to get away from that scary lady with the feathery face.
Scary lady has a point. You shouldn't be throwing sharp things out there like that.
I'm gonna try to pick up the cattle traps.
How do you plan to do that? I mean, are you picking them up one at a time? Or are you going to try to get them off the road completely in a certain way? Tell me what's the idea. You just generalized it. Tell me how you're doing it, so I know how long this is actually going to take you.
I'm trying to think what's the best action to how to do this correctly.
Well, we're playing Jeopardy with you, and you're taking time to write your answer down. Let's go back to Borden and
I'm
again.
gonna take. I'm
You
gonna
tell me.
take
You
my
tell me. You
shield.
tell me in a minute. Tell me a minute. Borden, what do you want to tell this kid?
It's a holiday season. Ain't you got family to be around?
Kind of.
I'm just trying to keep him engaged in small talk for a second.
Yeah, my mom's back at home, but I was doing this for her. Kind of sobbing a little bit as he's been caught. Now, how are you getting these caltrops up?
I'm taking the longer side of my shield that's flat and just raking it.
Alright, that's all I need to know, that you're raking them off the road and not leaving it exposed fully. So you manage to clear traffic off, and you get all these caltrops up near the curb, and you're able to take your time at that point and gather them up if you want. The boy just kind of stands up, rubbing the top part of his head. He's like, sorry.
Now would you give the boy his things, and I'll hold up a gold piece for him. I was like, how about you take us to your mom, and we'll try to get you guys set up for the holidays.
Thanks, mister. He takes the gold coin and... Is it
Yes,
okay
that's
for me to have this?
It's the holidays. If you guys are hurting that bad, surely we can do something to help you.
Yeah, sounds like a wonderful idea.
Make a persuasion check with advantage since Sydney's coming back to give the caltrops back.
I'm gonna need advantage on persuasion. It's
Oh.
not one of my.
Could I
There you
try
go.
it? Or...
Yeah, no, you're good. So basically, you got this kid persuaded that, okay, you mean him no harm, you're giving him his caltrops back, you gave him a gold coin. He's like confused. He's like, I was gonna make Mr. Harslow pay, but maybe Mom will find some way to be happy with this. Thank you, mister.
I was trying to get him to take me to Mum
Yeah.
and see if we couldn't do something there for him.
Oh, no. Alright, yeah. He will... He will. What will he do? I mean, that's a good question. Let me consult the dice.
I said, let's see what see if we can do anything for her. Even if it's simple as, caught your boy here trying to
Yeah, he's trying to assess
make the
out-
holidays a bit lighter for you.
Yeah, so he will like, okay, and he'll take you down the streets, and then he brings you to this rundown middle of the street, or not middle of the street, but the middle of the block house that's kind of like run down and torn up a little bit, and he walks into like a draped wooden door, or the wooden door opens with like a cloth like drape in front of it, and he kind of passes under. Mom, there's some folks here that are wanting to spread the cheer, and he holds up the gold coin showing his mom, and you see this not a bad looking woman just come up there and just pick him up like, what are you doing, Alan? Oh, look, if he stole this from you, and she takes the coin and hands it back to you, boy.
No, ma'am.
What did he do?
We caught him trying to
Caltrop the road.
he
Alan.
was trying to get back at Mr. Harlow, he mentioned specifically.
Oh, please, dear, you gotta quit doing that. Mr. Harslow is here to take care of the family now. We just gotta deal with this, okay? He's a bad man, Mom. You shouldn't be with him. He hurts you.
What's about hearing you get hurt, madam?
It's
Trying to look serious.
It's nothing. The boy just, don't worry about it. And she'll kind of escort you both out. It's like, please,
Please, I
it's
insist.
you've done it. You've
Trying
done
to
it.
help you.
And she's being resistant. She's like, you've done enough. This gold coin will help us have a decent holiday. I mean,
No.
I still don't feel like we deserve this. And she tries to give it back.
Said, I would, as she's talking about, well, he doesn't hurt me much, or it's not that bad. I want to insight that one, and then even a
Okay.
medicine check.
Yes, let's start with insight.
Because I'm good
God,
at those.
Yeah, that's fucking hard to beat. You can definitely tell she's lying. Go ahead and make a medicine check and see if you can notice anything.
I'm supposed to be good at these,
Holy
and I am. 1920.
So you're
I'll
like
take it.
you're like the little inspector that comes in and checks on families today, and you know that this
I-
woman is been
Gordon, the social worker, has
Yeah,
now
yeah.
been born.
sure
Do you
enough.
need
you're-
healing?
No, I'm fine. Look, you shouldn't be here. And she's like looking across the streets and everything, trying to make sure that whoever it is doesn't show up with you guys out front. But yeah, you
I'm
can
going-
definitely. I mean, Borden, you can see like just every so often the right side of her shirt comes up enough for you to like see a bruise mark, and then the shirt drapes back down. You can tell like if she is bruised, it's wherever she's clothed.
I'm gonna do a healing light on her.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, wrong one.
Wow, you lit her up like a fucking Christmas tree.
Jesus Christ, that's not healing.
I thought we had to
I
talk
get it.
about this. I thought we had
I
to
get
talk
it.
about AOEs.
It's right next to each other. It's right next to it.
When
Alright.
things are beat up enough, sometimes the best healing is in fact the sweet sucker of death. But
Are you
you've
sure?
taken that to heart too
No,
much.
No,
Are
no.
you sure you're not from Citadel?
No. Yes,
You are from Citadel, actually. Last time I checked.
Yes.
Oh man, the
Yes, I am.
purification
But
flame.
literally,
You are
the
purifying the
wall-
population of Timor right now.
Hey. Wall of Fire is right next to Healing Light.
Sure. Well, I'm just saying, you and the dragon have something in common here. Okay, no.
You just cauterizing her wound.
I just want to make sure you're not going to bleed out. Oh, damn.
Hey, I have 0 spells left. Healing doesn't count
No,
as a
okay,
spell.
okay, okay.
She has 12 levels of barbarian. It's totally fine.
Yeah, she raged through your flame. Yeah, right. That still would hurt, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So
So,
you healed her. I mean, she might have been a little rough, but she kind of feels her back feeling a little bit better, and her posture kind of readjusts, and she's like, "Oh no." What thank you. You've done way too much. I don't know how to repay you, but please have a good
No.
holiday. And she's still trying to get
No.
you guys to leave at this point.
take this. I hand her extra 15 gold
No,
coins.
I've got a better way since we now know where this little shack is.
All right, so you stop at him from giving more gold, or because I'm not gonna.
I'll,
It'd be easy.
I'm gonna
say
give
no.
Cindy a look real quick. Just be like, just hold on a sec, you know.
So Borden's kind of stopping you. You gonna stop?
I still want to give it to her. She's the best.
Ma'am,
All right.
here in a few days we're about to have a soup kitchen, and not to offend, but you and little Alan there, I'd love to see you there.
Well, we'll keep it in mind. And I'll go if I need to go. If we need to go. If we should go. She's just stumbling over her words. And she's like, you need to go. You both need to go. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing Alan in. Keeping him out of trouble. I appreciate that. But you need
Who's
to
this
go.
man that's coming by? Please.
I've already got the name. Just another look is going to be shot.
Yeah, she's just trying to get you guys out, so it's up to you. What you want to do. Like, she's trying, but you know, you guys are you guys, you know, you can stay
I
in
want
here.
to make sure that you are safe.
We're perfectly fine, but if you're seen here, we're not going to be safe, so please, go on, enjoy your holiday. Just be on your way, please. And she's pleading with you at this point.
Insight? Or
No, you don't have to make an insight. Like, she is pleading with you to leave, because she's scared of what might happen if you're seen here with her. I mean, you can tell that much right now. And with Zareth here, we might be going back here in a minute, but you're currently back home, but we're going to back up to the other scene after we conclude this little extra scenario that just popped up.
personally, I kind of want to stay.
I'm gonna go ahead and she's cajoling us. I'm just gonna kind of nudge her and make towards the door a bit.
He's a good man.
Okay, fine.
There's nothing to worry about. He's a good man. He doesn't mean well, or he doesn't mean harm. He doesn't mean it. Please, you just take care. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for bringing Alan. He's a good man. He's a good man. She just keeps muttering as she finally gets you both out the door. And then you're back on the streets, left with this scenario that just kind of cropped out of from a boy just throwing caltrops on the ground. But would you all like to rewind, go back to that moment when we last left off from last session now?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. So, flashback. Two guys, assassins that you all kind of put down are tied up, and then these guards are like keeping watch over them, and one of the guards turns to you guys. Thank you for your service. If you don't mind staying here until the regular guards get here. What the hell do they call that unit? The regalia. The regalia. Oh yeah, the regalia. If you wait for the regalia guards to get here, we'll be more than happy to keep watch over them, and then they'll be able to take care of this. And right now you have these two assassin-looking characters who are like dressed up in like black cloaks. I need Zareth. Are you here?
You're breaking up, mate. What is it?
Well, you're here, right? And I will
am, but
check
you're
this.
breaking up.
Let me check the server settings and see if we're central or east. We are east, so we should be. I'll just kind of refresh it here, see if that helps. Hold on 1 second. I'll jump in and jump out. Don't know if that'll help, but that's the best I can do for you. You still hear me?
I still hear you.
Alright, good. So 2 assassins tied up, and they're asking you to wait for the regalia to get here. Basically, you guys spend about 10 minutes waiting, and then there are 3 highly official looking characters kind of show up. You see, boy, let me see where I wrote all this outline at. Yep, you see an elite looking guard and 2 of his subordinates. 2 female, or no, a male, and a fighter looking character kind of walks up to you dressed in half plate, and just, he's kind of mobile. He's got a shield on his back, a sword on his hip. There's another guy dressed up in like gray robes, gray hat that kind of looms out with the wide brim, kind of like a Gandalf type hat. Like he's just dressed like a wizard, and he's got a staff with a sapphire gem embedded at the top of it. It's a human, gray bushy beard and disheveled gray hair and brown that's just kind of spilling out from his hat. And then there's this druid-looking elven woman with silver silk robes outlining her figure. She carries with her a solid white oak walking staff, and she has long golden hair rippling out from behind her ears as it waves down to the small of her back. These 3 kind of approach and say, "Alright, we were called out here," the gentleman starts speaking with the half plate on, "to apprehend these villains who have started causing terror in our town. And I was told that your lot helped put them down. Is that correct?" And he's kind of looking over to all of you in Dancing Light and Lusselin.
Yes,
Currently, I'm still grappling.
You're drunk
the guy,
again.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm drunk and grappled the guy.
No, you don't have to grab them. They already tied him up.
Oh, okay.
You had 10 minutes there to where you could tie this guy up snug as a rug. And the druid and the wizard kind of like, "Alright, we got this." And yeah, you guards, come with us. We're going to take these to the castle. We'll do our interrogations. Is there anything else I can do for you fine citizens?
The last time we had the criminal, they managed to escape. I do hope that won't be the case again.
It surely will not. We have been well aware that our outposts are not doing their jobs in the city, so we're going to just deal with this like now. We're going to take them down to the dungeon cellars in the castle and then put them on trial the next day. So, justice shall be swift and justice shall be delivered.
Do I recognize any of these fellows?
Let's have you roll history to see if you may have come across any of them.
Personally, real badly, I want to freaking try to say, "Hey, can you cure this alcohol for me?" And cure the
No, neither one of them will
blue
put
skin.
up with your. None of them will put up with your nonsense. But you
Oh,
may
yeah.
you
Well,
may
like a time
know
paradox.
you may know the elven woman. Her name is Navi. That's what she goes by. But the other 2 are kind of a mystery to you. Navi, you
Alright.
probably met in a circle whenever traveling, and she's now currently engaged with the contract with the guards.
I look to the dancing lights. I probably don't know their call. I know one of them. Those right here. I would put my faith in their capabilities, and I just nod towards the female.
Navi takes a moment to try to recognize you, and then she just kind of gives an ah to her lips and just kind of nods in your direction. And the gentleman, he starts talking. "My name is Commander Jesper, and this here is Merrill." And he points to the old wily-haired guy that's in the wizard robes. Meral, if you're looking for spelling. And this this elven woman here, her name is Navi, and we have just been assigned to the regalia. So, we'll go ahead and take care of this swine. Points to these 2 assassins. What I need from Zareth was either an investigation or perception, one of your choice. as you're just kind of looking these guys over as they're all tied up.
Investigation or perception?
Either one. I'll let you roll whatever you feel best.
Investigation it is.
Sounds good. So as you were right there when you tied up the first one, right? And when you tied him up, you kind of notice he has like this long flowing scarf that's wrapped around his neck, keeping the hood on top of his head. And every so often, whenever the rope would pull the scarf back, you can make out what looks like a dagger, like a silver dagger emblem with a crescent moon.
So it's a tattoo.
No, it's a emblem. It's like a medal that was hiding underneath the scarf. I should be more clear. I'm sorry. It's like a pin. It is a pin. It's pinned to the inside of his scarf. It wasn't naturally revealed, but every time the rope kept tugging his scarf up over the lap of where it was hiding, you just made out this metal piece that looks like a moon with a knife in it. Crescent moon, to be exact.
So I saw that when I was tying him up.
Yes.
Could I have taken the pin?
Yeah, that would require a sleight of hand. I got a DC already picked for it, so we'll do DC on this one. Sleight of hand, if you want to go for it. That will easily get it snagged. So you're roughing them up, tying them up, and then all of a sudden your hand goes underneath the scarf and you kind of pull the pin loose and drop it into your hand and quickly pocket it away. And then you just go on like nothing happened. So the guy's not even aware because he's tied up. He ain't got no clue, right? So yeah, you put that emblem into your pocket so you can look at it for later. But these guys are now in the custody of the regalia. The guards who are currently occupying them and clearing it up are going to stay with the regalia as well. And they're just like extra hands who are going to make sure they get to the dungeon. So he's like telling his crew, all right, get these guys loaded up onto the cart. You two keep watch on them, and I'll make sure that nothing attacks us on the road up to the castle. And then there's another cart that just kind of comes in, and this wily looking character, he's like throwing the corpses of the other assassins with a couple of helps. He's like the ME that comes around. I think Borden and Zareth, the original guys, they've seen this character around because of the dead bodies that have been picked up before. He's just kind of coming around, taking out the dead. And they're like, the ME's here, so we'll go ahead and be on our way so he can be on his. So if there's anything else you want to talk to them about before they head out, you're free to do so. Otherwise, they will take them to the dungeon.
Oh yeah, what races were they?
Who is they?
The assassin.
I mean, they're currently cloaked. They haven't been disrobed. They have been pinned. I would say the one that you probably grabbed was probably a half-elf that you could tell. And Zareth would probably make out a human. But, you know, they're still kind of cloaked and tied up tight.
Could I have a sleight of hand to slightly cut with Jubilee's jaw?
Make an attack roll.
Okay.
You miss.
Okay.
You try to poke him, and then you poke it against the breastplate that he's, or not breastplate, like a half breastplate or something that he's got underneath, or the leather. It's not cutting through the leather that he's wearing. You can't tell exactly because he's still draped. Either that, or you're trying to cut into his rope, and the guard's like, "Hey, stop that! Stop that! I don't know what you're doing, but that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Quit it."
Sorry, a little drunk.
Yeah, well, take your drunk little ass somewhere else, please. We'll go ahead and take care of these guys. And Jesper's like, be kind to the lady. I know you shouldn't cuss in front of a lady, please. Let's be civil. And let's take these cretins in. And they load these guys onto a cart. 3 of them are on the cart with the people who are being taken to the jail. And then also the guards who helped you apprehend them are following along, making sure everything else goes accordingly.
So I would put forward, I'd like to, I want to say be informed, but, you know, if something pops up, since we do in fact live and work here.
Right. And yeah, you were more than happy to have like a little conversation with him if you wanted to know more about him if you wanted.
I was referring to the results of the interrogation. I don't exactly
Okay, so you
pay the
just
guys.
went, yeah. So
If something comes up, we should know about living and working here, as we do as the company.
what company are you anyway? Jesper kind of gets.
We're through the guild as Dancing Lights.
Oh, Dancing Lights. I do believe we heard of you. Every so often there's word of Dancing Lights doing something, I hear. Either for good or ill. But hey, let's be on our way. We'll get these guys locked away so that they're no longer a danger. And pretty much they start heading off to the castle and taking away these prisoners. Go ahead.
What ill doing have you been doing, you guys? I asked Borden. What ill is he speaking of? If I might inquire.
I'm just gonna look at you.
You should. No.
I'm just gonna look at you. That's all. No words. I'm just gonna look at you.
Can I do insight?
Insight or intelligence check. I'll let you roll either one.
While she's doing that, I'm
Insight.
just giving her a wide berth because she just tried to swing at a guard with that weird sword.
Well, she didn't
Guard,
swing
no.
at the guard. She tried to swing at the prisoners so they could taste their blood,
Oh.
which is stupid. And the guard was like, "Stop that! Don't be doing that." Cindy, I'm gonna put it to you this way: there has been ill and good. Your goodwill is definitely well known because you hand out all the goodies, right? And then
Yes.
there's incidents where a loose fox has caused trouble down the streets, though I don't know if you're aware of that. There's been incidents where
She was aware of the fox.
there's an instance when there was a woman running around the streets screaming about some dragon and endangering the livelihoods of people with some insects. Just little flashbacks to that kind of memory kind of pops up to you. And then you look at Borden staring you in the eyes. You're like, oh, or whatever you may think your
Just
character
now
would do.
swinging at a bound prisoner in front of multiple guards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just
and
want
then
you
to
that,
know.
that
Big
knew me.
flying
like-
jockey and a big giant AoE attack in the
Mm.
middle of a city.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, this would be the part where everybody voices all the bad you did, and then I'll point out all the good.
I kind of just whispered to Borden, "Is she all right? No, up in the Gray Matter parts."
I have no clue.
I
I-
think she got hit on the head at some point.
And I do perception to hear them.
You're right there by them. It's not like any of them said they're not.
Well, we were whispering.
Okay, so they're whispering. Honestly, do you want to know that they said this about you?
I want to see if I can.
Make a perception check, and I'm going to give them a high default on this. Yeah, you don't hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Oscar's like, oh hell, I had a punchline from him. Never mind, it already passed.
And, I think one of the last
Oh, wait,
things we'd
no,
be
no.
saying before the whispering's up. Like, you ask God for patience, and they give you opportunities to be patient.
Well,
Slightly
I don't mean to tell you how to run your company, but maybe tell the little lady to hold off on the large spells next time. Could have killed an innocent, you know?
We've had this conversation.
Location.
Yes.
I believe it was even Leo that delivered this conversation at one point.
Yeah, he did back in
Yes.
at the retreat, I believe. But yeah, and this point here, you guys would have kind of split off and said, "All right, we're going to go to the temple and do all that stuff." And then we kind of cut to that scene earlier because I kind of like I had to skip because I wanted to come back here for Zara's benefit because there was part of his storyline of what these guys were about. Now, Zara, you and Oscar went ahead and went back to the office early, and you got your findings. We're gonna come to you for a minute. For like the next couple of hours, what do you do while you're back at the house?
I'm going to inspect that pin that I got.
Okay. Like, Double check some notes real quick. Okay, we didn't do any of that.
If that gives me any leads on where to snoop around, I want to carefully start zoning in on
You know
it,
what?
like a quick walkthrough.
This silver emblem is in the shape of a miniature dagger with a crescent moon encasing it. So it's like the crescent moon and the dagger's like from top to bottom of the tip, you know? And for some reason it keeps bothering you because you feel like you should know exactly what this is, but it's hidden from you because of some kind of... You just can't put your finger on it. But I will let you roll a wisdom check. Or a wisdom save, sorry.
Oh, not too bad.
It's not too bad, but fortunately, you're thinking about it really hard and it's really been bothering you. So basically what you feel is like a pain in your gray matter, for the lack of a better term. You feel a headache kind of overtake you. And after a little time of examining it, you're like, I just need to put this away for now. I can't place it, but it does seem to have some significance.
Okay.
Yeah. We might come back to this stuff here I have, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, for the most part, Oscar's like going ahead and start working on his scrolls, because I believe that's what he said he wanted to do, get his ritual books in order. So he'll be up in his room doing that. He's like, if you make any supper or anything to drink, if you don't mind, just bring it upstairs. I'm going to be putting these important ritual spells in my book.
I just yell at the bastard. Don't let me be that lazy.
I'll do it for you. I need practice.
Well, no,
You're not there.
Yeah, none of you are
Oh,
there, and
I
Zaren's
thought that was
still.
Borden.
That was Borden talking, but he was just.
No,
joking.
that's just me, just offhandedly, you know. Like I just yell at him, like, "Get your food."
But yeah, he's trying to focus on this, inscribing these spells. And you kind of get the
I
sense
can
that,
whip something up, but don't
Yeah,
expect anything fancy.
that'd be great. I mean, if not, I'll just finish one of these up and then take a break. But I'm going to try to get through these as best I can. These will help everybody. So, I'm trying to do something important for everybody. Just so you know. Magic's not bad, Sarah. It's going to be okay. And then he'll walk.
I just look at him.
Yeah. As you know, there's still that underlining distrust that you have for magic, and Oscar, I would think, would notice it, because he has been trying to coax you into magic items like the ring, and he kind of sees where you're coming from, but he's like, look, it's not bad. Just, if you want to deal with it, you can, but if you don't want to use it, just remember, it's not bad, especially if I'm doing it. This is basically what he gets around to. Probably the most you ever heard him talk. No. But,
Yeah, and then I just remember Cindy throwing stuff around.
so here's the deal. You spent about an hour just either like cooking up a meal for a bite to eat for you and Oscar, and some tea maybe, or whatever you feel like drinking. You can get some spirits that you have stored down below. But about 2 hours later, the rest of your crew makes it back. Unless we can back up for a second before you even get back. So basically right now we have Sydney and Borden out on the streets after talking to that woman. So we're kind of getting back to, get that flow back to where everybody's all together, or at least where the timeline can move normally. But is there anything else you want to do here at this location, or are you ready to go back?
I asked Gordon, should we see what the man she's talking about is, or should we just go back?
At this point, it'd be best to just go. We've
Okay.
got names. We know where they are. And if I don't see them at the soup line, so to speak, then it wouldn't be too difficult to come knocking.
Okay.
Alright, so the pair of you head back home.
So, you can only help them so far. They've got to take a step.
I understand that.
And yes, Sarah, you may go ahead and start reading that. Right now, you make it back home. No incidents other than what you've already had. And
Thank God.
no, right? It's like she clocked out tonight. Minerva's like, "Yep, I'm taking the day off, so you guys get the free night." But no, Xerath, you see your two friends walk back in. The elf that was with them earlier kind of separated and went home. Unless there's any conversation or anything you guys want to talk about, we can kind of go
So,
into.
how was your trip to the temple? Did you settle your business for them?
It wasn't so much business as I don't know if you've been told explicitly, but the man who helped raise me, I kind of credit him with the man I am today, so to speak, is in town, and it's been nice to have him around, visit, see how he's been doing, because he also, was capable of helping us out with an earlier issue. And we might be doing some work with the soup kitchen here in a few days, but other than that, nothing too crazy going on. How about you? Anything on your end to speak of right now?
Well, I found this pin that gives me a headache. Like a really
headache
bad
again?
one. It's
Because
important.
I believe he's mentioned these headaches before.
Yes.
Yeah, and like every time something about his old organization seems to be triggering him. I think that might. I'm trying to think what information you had available though. Let's see.
I just know that these headaches were involved with memory.
Right.
Yes, and that Smiles had the same problem, that she also couldn't remember the last couple of times.
Yes, listen, we'll do some tinkering, I guess, or woodworking, whatever you have tools for here in a second. I will have. Let's see here. I'm going to say it's an Arcana check to see if you can verify.
If who can verify?
You can verify that there's some memory alterations going on.
I mean, I kind of had that inkling just from the previous stuff because he has.
Then again, I'm thinking. I'll give it advantage.
Thank God.
Yay!
Not even.
You know what? You just needed a 2. I mean, the DC was so low at this. No. It wasn't a 1, so no. Yeah, you're not.
I mean, I've tried a lesser restoration in the past and didn't have access outside of the token to the greater.
Yeah.
Which was my initial, plan here in the first.
Here's the situation. Like, on a hunch, I would say, because you have your innate hunch, and I'm not going to say like the Arcana check, and you're like, okay, if you're having these headaches, and if the lesser didn't work, I would say like if you wanted to do a greater on them, you could. You would know to try if you have it to spare. Like if you just feel like blowing a spell just to see what happens.
I mean, we're getting close to the end of the day, and I obviously haven't had to raise dead.
Yeah.
So I do have this energy available.
Yeah.
Me.
So if you want to use the energy just to see what happens, you're free to do so. Like,
I'm gonna go ahead and ask him, would you mind if I tried a stronger version of what I attempted last time?
What did you do last time? I can't remember.
well, you know, that fox is in the backyard now because of it.
Be wrong.
No, I did try to throw a lesser restoration at one point to try to help you out, but I now have access to greater restoration and the components with which to cast.
Sure, give it a shot.
All right. Magic Kazam. No. That pain goes away. You recognize this emblem now. This miniature dagger with the crescent moon encasing it. It signifies them as a high-ranking knife in the former organization that was based around plotted killing your old assassin crew. These were members of them, and you don't know why they were after you.
Oh, shit.
As your memory kind of comes back, there's still verified information that doesn't get cleared up. Like, the organization must be dead because they should have gotten a hold of you in some way, shape, or form instead of just coming out to get you. So, right now, with the information that you haven't been able to process before, you can kind of ascertain that they may or may not still exist, or they may be manipulated by another force, but these knives are no longer the knives you knew them to be.
Well, this clears things up. And that isn't anything good. I take out the pin.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the table. It seems that something is cleaning out this city, preparing it for
I would like
moving
you to make an intelligence check to check your memory for your actual memory. And I'll bring up a piece of information. I'm not sure you're aware of it.
straight
but
intelligence.
Yeah, straight intelligence. Yeah, borderline. There's a red figure you remember from way back. Something about him, but that's about all you can think about with that information.
Say, a couple of weeks ago, when we entered the city after the attack with those two dragons, we walked into the city gate and a guy approached me. Did any of you see his face? Hello?
No, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know.
Yes, anyone.
Would this be just a history roll for me to see if I remember seeing his face? Because
I know from your description at the time that he had his hood up and obscuring his face.
I will give you history, but his DC is going to be kind of high. Because the way he approached was kind of swift. You can recollect a red-robed figure, but his facial features or racial features just don't come to life. Because it was just like so brief that you saw him. And him bringing it up was like, was that when it happened? Is the only thought you have coming to your mind. So you kind of.
So I might recognize him to see him again, but I don't recognize him off. Give it.
His robes were distinctively unique. Like they kind of had like a. I wouldn't say regal, but they had like a. Definitely like a nobleman's air to it, and something more elegant, more exotic than what you would see normal people wearing. So if you were to see him in the exact same robe walking around in a crowd, you think you could pin him.
Okay.
Unless there's 50
Can't
of
say I
them.
remember his face, but
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm throwing curveballs at you. Don't worry about this.
so I can't say I remember his face, but I do remember seeing him.
While you're having that conversation, what are we working on, Leslie?
Just some basic toys for children, for you.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll let you make the roll. How many are you making? I'll let you go 3 at max. Bless you.
Yeah, it's mostly finishing touches. I imagine due to the fact it's Jubilee season, you might have been working on a few already.
All right. Let me get 3 woodworking checks from you, and we'll see how well they turn out. Good. What 3 items did you make?
One's a little, I would imagine a small little toy soldier with little. Another one's probably this lightly white painted dragon of sorts, and the last one, I don't know, maybe some sort of little puzzle box.
All right, yeah, and all three of them turned out pretty good. Yeah, nothing hard with those. That sounds about right.
All right, I'll just put them with
Yeah,
the other stuff I want to give the kids for Jubilee.
and you're quite proud of your white dragon that you made. It was very nice, very articulate. It looked almost just like the real thing. I mean, you've probably seen one or two in your lifetime, so
Yeah.
So you're good. All right, now back to board and then the crew. What else is going on here?
I'd like to try to practice my cooking for Jubilee.
All right. I'll have options
We've all
here.
just eaten a feast.
No,
Why
yeah,
would you
but I still
cook?
want to practice.
All right, so here's what we're going to do now. Now, anytime that you feel like there's a moment you need to have with somebody, be it an NPC, other player, or anything in between, feel free to interrupt narrative. Even if I bypass that time, just say star, back up. I want to do this now, and then I'll come back to it. You know, I don't want to go past anything, but what I would like to offer is a whole week of nothing bad happening to you fine fellows, my friends, my countrymen. I want you to take a week off from worry and spend some downtime trying to obtain something new. And what I will have happen is give you like an event that you want to happen in town, and then whatever you want to work on your downtime. So kind of like two different things to think about. And also, what I would like to do before we go into the full downtime, you know, just kind of start thinking about things as I'm talking about it. I am going to introduce to you guys like a way to make a secret Santa. Like, we're all going to like draw numbers. I'm going to coordinate the numbers towards different characters so that if you roll a number, it's not you. So you're not going to get your ticket, somebody's always going to get yours. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisper to you on Discord, tell you this is who you're going to be buying for. And even though you're not a close-knit group now, I would assume within the week, if you guys made the arrangements to where you all decide to work together and you start doing the soup kitchen thing, these are events that you can include for free. Like, you'll still get to do your personal stuff, but like the storyline events, you'll still get to go back and do regardless. Like the soup kitchen and gathering the clothing and all that good stuff.
But say I've got Alan and his mom. You know,
Yeah, and that's another event. You want to bring that up within the week, we can do that as well. But let's see here. How do I want to start this? Sydney, roll me a 1d6.
You're also going to have to check off whose names are drawn out of the hat as well,
Yeah, hold on.
somehow.
Believe it or not, I got numbers here already. Alright.
So yeah, Borden, if you want to go speak to Luceman, you can.
Alright. Now, next I need Borden. Roll me a 1d5.
You bloody would. Had the dice roller automatically pulled up,
Sorry.
and there's no 1d5.
Well, yeah, you have to. Sorry. So you will get this one. Alright. And then I will put your name here.
Everyone gets 2.
Well, that's fine. I got this set up in a way to where it doesn't matter. Alright, and now I need Zara to roll me a 1d4.
See, no 2 for me.
So,
Perfect. So far,
I
so
will
good.
take partial blame for this. It's like I want to invoke Chris Kringle and have a secret Santa.
Oh,
around the
I
group
like
house.
that idea. I like that idea.
Like, we can all blame me if it all turns out to be shit.
No, I got an idea. We're gonna have separate sessions to go over this stuff. Leslin, I need a 1d3 from you.
I understand the dice are getting smaller, 6, 5, 4, 3, but we have not rolled above a 2.
That's fine. Let's see how the thing just keeps. I have 6 numbers here, and most of them were on the GM layer. See, that's all I do. I pop them up here. I got your names written on the balls. So that
Somehow I was
means
gonna get all the presents. Watch.
No, there's only
No,
your
he
name's
has-
only in the hat once. So when
Yeah,
the
so
name
he
gets
just-
drawn out, you can't get 2 presents from 2 different people. You get 1 present from 1 person in secret.
all right.
I've
So
never
how-
done
how-
Secret Santa, so I don't understand how these work.
all right. Now I'm going to go and well, basically what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you who you're shopping for, and then off stream, sometime during the week, we're going to get together in Discord, either on any of the home channels, whatever channel we want to go into. It don't matter. We can do it anytime during the week or anytime after this session. And I will tell you shops that you can go to or tell you about items that are laying around. And for this, Jubilee is going to reward you a 500 gold to buy this person a 500 gold item at least. So, if you want to make it, you can even make checks for that. If you just want to go to the magic shop or a weapon shop or armor shop and buy specific gear, that adds up to 500 gold and put it in a packet and just give it to them. We can do that. And then basically you're going to hold on to these gifts in your inventory, and you're going to know who you're sending it to. And then whenever we finally have Jubilee, which may happen next week if things go accordingly, you'll be like having this little Christmas party at the house. And you'll just be, sharing gifts with each other. So I think that'll be fun, right? So
Yeah.
what I will do now is go through here and tell everybody who they're buying for. Let me see here. You are buying.
There are 5 lots total at 500. So that's 250 plat in total. Because that was going to come out of the group funding.
Well, it's going to be given thanks to.
Or
Jubilee.
is this,
This
like,
is free
Jubilee
money.
is
This is
magic
free.
and suddenly
This
we
is-
find
this
500
is-
gold?
This is free money that I, as a DM, is rewarding you, but you have to go buy it for somebody else. So you got to play it forward. All right, I gave one of you. Well, let's see who was next. Okay, so wait, hold on. Did I do that right? Yeah. So that
Apparently
Brett,
the numbers are
I
confused.
want you to forget who I told you. I think I did that wrong. I should have sent this to him.
Uh,
I did that wrong because I forgot the person on. All right, so yeah, you'll be. Yeah, because I put whoever. Okay, yeah. I remember now. All right, you're. It's not that guy. It's this guy. All right, and
okay, so the second one, got it.
yeah, and then. Oh, wait, no, okay. And let's see here. That was your draw. See, I sent yours,
Alright.
right? Oh, wow, yeah, those are. And then.
Oscar needs to show up so that he can figure out who he's got.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Let's see here.
A lot of these people are probably easy enough to buy for, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, Oscar might have a challenge, I don't know.
I have the hardest time because my character barely knows any of it.
Well, you're going to get to know him here in just a second. Alright, I sent him a message with who he's got to buy for, and he'll probably ask me, what the hell is that about? Alright, so we got all that figured out. And, yeah, alright. So, yeah, that's going to be a task that you're going to do off stream. But for now, we're going to pass a week by with downtime in mind. So if there's certain things you want to train according to the player handbook, like if you need to work on getting maybe a feat or a skill or something that you're aiming to improve your character, you can aim for something like that. We'll do some checks to see how it goes. And then just kind of think about what your character's doing throughout this week. We will come to the story points where we go back and deal with the soup kitchen, the working for the church stuff, and then also the Alan and his mother So those will be 3 events that we're just going to do as soon as we kind of figure out what happened otherwise. So, who wants to start?
I would like to have a conversation with Borden.
All right. And
This can only go well.
this could be happening like what, the next day or same day, even if you want.
Same day, I just thought of something.
Yeah, go right ahead. I'm glad to go ahead and get that going too. So go ahead and have that conversation after all that memory came back to you. Go right ahead.
Well, it's not about that. Well, I can also put that in, yeah.
Well, whenever you want to have this conversation, I'm not trying to force it on you.
Borden, you have a minute?
Yeah. I would probably be in my room, going over expenses on property and whatnot. Refilling larder, crap like that.
And we'll
You
do an
need some
expense
help
report.
with that.
I've got it. It's pretty simple right now. We're not doing anything too crazy.
So, do you know, like, this afternoon I handed in that rapier that we found in that town.
Yeah, the Halfling Magic Store.
Yes, for the enchantment to be moved. However, I didn't add a short sword with it. I was wondering, could you forge me one with some special specifications? I'm willing to pay for it, of course.
I'm handy enough with a hammer. The only issue is I don't have a workspace per se, because the forging of a blade requires the anvil and the furnace. I might be able to pull a string or two. I'm sure if I pop around the weapon and armor shops, one of them that have a smithy I could make use of during the off hours.
Now that would be nice, but I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Honestly, it wouldn't be much of a time sink, so to speak. I haven't took a hammer to metal in a while outside of combat.
And the second thing, and I take out the pin and I start twisting it, walking it through my fingers. There is some deep shit going on in this city at the moment. And I'm not sure if those people that attacked us today were specifically sent for me. Or that someone else is pulling the strings now.
So this is the same day.
This is the same day.
I was just making. So yeah, no, like I'm still a little beat up from these assholes, and so yeah, no, I can tell there's some serious shit going down.
You're kind of like, you don't say.
Fucking poison
puncture
can
just
go to
still
hell.
Kinda, yeah, there's like a poison wound that's still kind of dry.
If I were to ask you what rules the city, what would be your answer?
While I'd love to say the man up in the castle does, unfortunately, I'm. Do what?
Or woman in this case.
No, it is a woman.
Yeah, you're ruled by a queen right now.
Well, we'll go ahead and wreck on it. Well, I'd love to say it's the one up in the castle. I'm sure it's something much more pedestrian. The person that holds the most money or will to throw it around. Perhaps the most power. Someone making promises. Whether they can keep them or not is irrelevant at this point. Someone's motivating someone.
Yep. And right now they're cleaning up the city. Possibly to move in them for themselves. Which means that whoever rules this city will not be the one that sits on the throne. Man, what's the English word?
Throne.
Throne.
Yeah, throwing.
Yeah, the throne. One of those, rule from the shadows. If I can make that pun with you.
Well, not necessarily, because it is commerce that dictates how happy the people are. As well as what comes in off the fields, and what comes in by other means. And someone is fucking that up. And that is potentially dangerous. That might even be why the gnolls found themselves in the sewers all that time ago. Because whoever kept them clean at the first hand is no longer able to do so.
I wasn't as much worried about the gnolls in the sewers as the magic tunnelway that appeared.
Well, I believe that was there for a very long time. What I'm more curious about is how the gnolls found the entrance, the hidden door to it, and then learned how to operate it. Because the undead guy at the end of it said that he needed intelligence, a certain amount of intelligence, in order for his experiments to work. That's why the gnolls could move through from the sewer to wherever they went, and we got stuck up in the portal.
Well, he didn't seem overly hostile to us. I think he didn't recognize us as a threat.
Well, I don't think he did either. He was more interested for his research purposes.
I believe Oscar had the most contact with him. As short as our contact was.
Well, not my first time I had a run-in with a necromancer, so I would really prefer not to do so again.
I dare say he's more than just a household necromancer, so to speak.
I figured as much. That's why I kept quiet. But anyway, I'm not entirely sure how to step forward with this, because there's people that we captured a while ago are, well, and as I stop spinning the pin in my for my fingers, I hold it still, look at it. I would say I would call friends, and for me having this pin means that something is seriously wrong. Because that is not how we operate.
Didn't quite think so. An assault, not exactly in the broad daylight, or even with overwhelming numbers, doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, just tactically speaking.
Well, that depends how desperate you are. A couple of years ago, remember the bloodbath? That was our doing. Maybe this is a continuation of it, or something else entirely, but I'm not sure.
Well, you always seek Kazuya's wisdom on this. Might not be the worst idea.
I don't know. Because we get taught from a very young age not to meddle with religion.
See, that's where you and I perhaps differed in our greatest aspect. from a young age, I was, in the church, in the temple, almost daily.
I
And
know.
I dare say it's come for the better. At least for me.
Well,
What you do with the
without
gods is up to
without
you.
without those people, I don't think I would have been alive now either. But yeah, if you think the gods can help with this, I'll take anything I can get my hands on. But I
Speaking
would.
of your hands, though, you mentioned that sword.
Yes, I can design something if that would help. And talk to you over so that we can get out something that is doable.
I wouldn't so much worry about doable. I am a fair hand with a hammer.
Well, I would like to hide a dagger in the handle.
So a pair of matched blades?
Yes, and the sheath of the dagger is the handle itself.
I think I get what you're aiming for here. And there will probably be a drawing somewhere later, but, we'll sort of start hashing it out.
Alright. Well, then, is that everything you guys need to talk about at the moment? I mean, you can get another conversation in later.
Yeah, it's good.
Now, as downtime activity, was there something Xerath wanted to particularly invest his time into?
Well, you have to help me on this one. How long would it take me to learn how to use the alchemist set thingy? To train proficiency in it?
Well, it depends. What are you trying? Like, how are you learning? Like, what's your method of trying to get this?
Well, I am proficient with the Poisoner's Kit, so I'm maybe mixing certain elements together to get a different effect would help me with that. So I would try to make some simple stuff like some acid and things like that. See how one relates towards the other.
Okay, so I'm looking at some interesting information. We're not going to go off of this, however. But the one thing that may help you acquire the alchemist skill is you would need to find somebody who could teach you basic alchemy, or you have to be well versed in an alchemy book. So as far as avenues, you might want to try researching it at find a potion shop and see if they got a book on alchemy, or ask the alchemist at the potion shop to, pay them for training. And if you're willing to pay 250 gold, we could say within that week, depending upon what kind of training you did, you could be proficient with the alchemist tool. I'll give it to you if you pay the 250 gold and we'll say you talk to the alchemist in town.
Then I would need a little bit of gold from the party fund, because I only have 23 plats.
Let me ask you this, Borden. Did we want to give everybody a paycheck from the party fund, or is there enough to go around, or what's the
See, that was something else I was thinking about.
Yeah, let's go to that real quick.
Because we've got some downtime, and we've got...
Yeah, maybe we should let Borden go first, so
we've got a damn sight more cash than...
Alright, so So for me and you to go back and forth here, you have all the all the inventory that needs to either be liquidated, or you have the liquid funds, right?
I have liquid funds. The only thing I don't have currently open is the bag of holding. Let me see if I can dig that up real quick.
Yeah, I thought I sent you information about that. I thought we wrote that down. If not, I think Leo's...
Yeah, it is. There is a link in the loot spreadsheet, the Timor part of the Discord.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Yep. So, I mean, you guys got it all stored
Because
up.
there's a bunch of stuff that
I don't think though it's kept. I don't think this is what Leo used.
yeah, I don't think this is.
Yeah, so if he has extra stuff in his inventory, I'll compare it with you and see what we have. Yeah, we'll get that sorted out.
The shoes of the Zephyr have been sold.
Yeah,
Those
they've
can
been
all be.
sold. Yeah, those can be pitched because those are no longer in anybody's possession. All they bring is death.
And wet shoes.
What is that?
These were the shoes that got Leo killed.
Oh.
Yeah, he was riding his horsey over the ocean, and a shark bit his horse in half, and the shoes fell off the horse because it was a celestial horse.
We have stalking intentions. Do we know what any of that is?
Did you want to fabricate this place into a certain business? Because Riley's just been protecting your shack for whatever.
It's more than a shack. Come on.
It is. It's a considerable location. And, you know, the guild's kind of investing in you guys to make money, so adventuring is one way, but if you want, like how we got things going in the other campaign, constant income, this might be the time to start thinking, what do we want this place to be? Otherwise, it's still up to you. If you want to leave it as is and not even worry about it, it's just a feature I'm giving you.
I personally want to make some type of eatery, maybe, since we have such a good kitchen stuff.
I mean, it's better than nothing, if you ask me. I mean, if these guys don't want to do anything special and they're willing to open it up to where you want to make a bakery, all you have to do is have that conversation.
No information. We have only those bits and bobs.
You know what I could do? I can make it to where you can control his character so you can see it. Excuse me. That way, if there's more on there that I'm not looking at, then there you go, Borden. Only Borden. You can see what he's got with me. But I will tell you, the Gurasumo that you got from the tower is gone.
Yeah, that's gone.
And the belt is gone. Things that were specifically made for him or addressed towards him is gone. But, you do have the gray bag of tricks, the potions that he didn't use. And it looks like he has a Blessing of Kazia token. And that's another thing I need to do while we're kind of sitting here, is to see where I went them books. I actually think it's in the blue one. But yeah, just let me know when you're ready to go over stuff. I'm here. I'm here for you.
Kept all that. We've got the bag. Okay, that's what Leo's stock, or Leo's things were.
Mm-hmm.
Shield, clothes, crowbar, hammer, pikings, ration, shit like that.
Yeah, all that small stuff you don't have to worry. But if there's something like the diamonds, you can keep them.
Yeah, I've already moved the diamonds over. I've got the info on my sheet, I believe.
Okay.
Thought I did. I've got those on a separate text document.
We got information everywhere, folks.
Yeah.
Well, I just, I got the, what they were, their prices, and that kind of a thing on the separate sheet.
Absolutely.
So is there
he kept the belt. The boots of Elvenkind, he has those on a sheet. Aren't those currently in Zereth's possession?
doesn't
No,
need 'em.
they're in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Or I
Xerath
believe
does it.
Oscar Ethan has them.
Xerath does not need it. He's got a cloak of Elvenkind.
what do the boots?
Pretty much the same thing. Usually you
Okay.
give them to somebody in heavy armor to take away the disadvantage.
Then that probably should go to me then.
Or Borden, maybe.
I'll
Go
just,
ahead.
I'll just be over here.
Yeah, sorry, man. We'll get to you in a second. Hey, good news though. I think I found the donations.
The donations.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
little
tokens.
token.
Oh, the donation list. Okay.
So, like, if you donate
Well,
50 gold,
that-
you get a token that gives you a +6 to a check. So it's like a maxed out bard inspiration or whatever. So it's like you get +6 just for 50 gold. You can get a +6 coin that'll give you to your hit or saves. Not damage, just the hit or a save. If you donate 100, you can get +6 token to damage plus roll d20 on a death save. So you would get an automatic 20 on a death save if you go down if you use this token on you. If this token's in your possession.
Which means you immediately come back up.
Yep, 1 HP.
Nice.
You pay 500 gold, you can get a raised dead token. And if you pay 5,000 gold, you can get a true resurrection.
I already got raised dead, so
And
it's
even,
cheaper just to buy the diamond dust at this point.
Yeah, and the thing about the true resurrection is that even still you would need a corpse because it's a coin, it needs to touch something.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only problem.
It's like a true, untrue resurrection.
It's a true enough resurrection.
True enough.
Yeah.
True enough.
True
As long-
enough resurrection.
If
I
you
love
got
it.
if you got the ashes of the body, or if you got the broken limbs of the body, if you got most of it there, we could truly do a little bit more about it than not. So it's almost truly resurrected, you know. But remind me, and I'll write that down somewhere so you guys can see the list as well, or I can do that while we're still sorting things out. So if we're still sorting, we'll do that.
Is it good to go to a restroom break?
Yeah. Anybody not wanting to sort anything right now, feel free. Take 5
Yeah, I'm
minutes.
just doing a lot of sorting.
While Borden and Zareth were having their talk, I kind of took off there, and I was like, if you finish before I get back, just put us on break, all right? But since I'm good, I'll be here if you need to talk about something, and then everybody just let me know when you get back. Take 5 minutes, go do what you need to do. We will definitely, hopefully, iron most of this out. 2:20, we'll get started again, so go take your break.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
I figure I'm leaving his money how it's sat.
Yeah, I just, how much does the company have right now? Like, the party funds, what's that sitting at right now?
We spent a lot last week.
Yeah, I just need to kind of know what you're dealing with. So, because I want to hit you up with the bills, so to speak. Like, Riley's pay,
We paid
Tax-
Riley before we left for about 3 weeks or so.
Get rid of rust and 10 bags of tricks. That.
and we also got to, have other staff or see what we're building into. So, bills from that are going to come in, and we're just going to kind of hardcore what you got. I just want to see how much you got to work with, and then I'm going to see if there's going to be some way for you to earn. You also have the option during the downtime to earn the company money, and we could say these will be quick adventures or something that may generate revenue, may not. It's going to be up to a dice roll, and it'll be
Kind of like the downtime activities outlined in Xanathar's.
I think so. I think that might have been where I got most of the inspiration for it. I'm pretty sure that's what I read, and I was drawing off it, but I don't have the full details. We can look at it. But yeah, that's, just trying to give us plenty of wiggle room here. So a lot of maintenance this session. And yeah, you're getting your downtime, and we're getting closer to Jubilee. And we're going to have little sessions after this to buy each other gifts. And like I said, the 500 gold is just coming from DM. It's just
From Magic.
Minerva dropped you 500 gold each to give each other a better weapon to take on these vampires, or just give them something to make them happy. No, it's just for me. Jubilee has rewarded you with a 500 gold sack,
Alright.
and the only way you can use this money is if you spend it on the person's name on the bag. So, yeah, every time you try to use it for your own gain, you find yourself unable to do so. And you wind up spending your own money.
Okay,
So-
that's cleared out. Bio section is, of course, empty, so there's nothing to worry about there. Alright. I'm done with the Leo sheet.
Alright.
Yeah, I put some stuff that I had in my notes, like the wyvern loot that we skinned. I put
Yeah,
that
the
in
Wyvern
battle.
survivals.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We do have a demon plate to sell because I sure as fuck ain't wearing it.
We can.
You guys found demon plate?
Yep. I was going to see if anybody was stupid enough to wear it. We have a smart crew, apparently.
Well, Leo was like seriously considering to.
Leo was
wear
considering it, and I was like, I'm good. And then we never got to a.
Well, good thing you can sell it now. So,
it. Does Cindy know we have it?
do we? want
I'm not
Cindy to
getting
know?
it anywhere near. I'm not getting it anywhere near. She knows we have it. I'm just saying it's a bad item, and we're gonna go ahead and we're selling it.
I'm gonna put a greater restoration token in this pool too for 500 gold. I think that's what they were whenever I mentioned it. And I might raise the price of Raised Dead to 1,000. I mean, that shouldn't be no problem for you guys if you decide to go this route.
Get your quick info real quick. Raised Dead is a diamond with 500 GP. So if you set that at 1,000, it's going to be half as much to cast yourself. I don't know if you're looking for mechanical numbers like that.
Maybe that's, then I'll just leave it at 500. I don't know.
Alright, anyway though, you were talking about just complete fluid assets right now and bills.
Yeah, like if you need to liquidate like certain gear pieces.
Like, okay, the demon plate's probably gotta go, but that's a very specific kind of person who would want it. Like, I can't just walk into the shop and be like, hey, so I've got this ridiculous ass armor.
Give it to an orphan.
I'm
Give it
not
to an
putting an
orphan.
orphan in demon plate.
Give it to Alan. He can protect his mommy after that.
No, because then we'll find Alan on his way to the castle dungeons and be like, they gave it to me. I have no clue what you mean. Right now.
Firewall.
Hello.
This brings us back to like, what do you want to do with the extra space in your house? And I was like, maybe make it like a pawn shop thingy that deals in like exotic goods that we can sell the stuff that we find.
See, and I'm just like, I don't want to put any, any larger of a target on the residents than absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
That is
Personally,
also true.
again, we can make it into a cooking shop. Relatively safe. Nothing will attack it.
Yeah, unless you get some kind of gas explosion, because that shit just screams to start happening.
Hey, there's no
Or I don't
gas in this universe.
Some sort of gang of grandmothers who think you're moving in on their turf.
Cooking best
Oh god,
restaurant
yeah.
stuff.
Betty Crocker crew coming to get you.
The Betty Crocker gang.
Here, Sonny.
Oh no, it's all on her.
Yeah, a coven of hags comes charging in. You're taking away our business, and
We
then
were
we
making
just have
pies
issues.
and they were being sold, and then you came into town. Yeah, we will take care of you, dearie. And your little dog, too. Oh, wait.
What
We don't have a dog.
Exactly. Already taken care of.
So it was them that killed the fox.
Yes!
Oh, yeah,
Excuse me,
probably.
it was a fox, not a dog.
gold, greater
Mhm.
restoration, because you bought those with the favor from Father Arum and the priest. So we're going to add that to the list. And then 5,000 gold for true. Okay, for somewhat
True resurrection.
The almost true resurrection.
With enough belief, it will
or
do true resurrection.
almost true. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not true resurrection.
I cannot believe it's. Yeah, you get the picture. You get the picture. Need,
It's true.
body, ashes, something that is part of who's dead to use the coin.
So I have their soul with that work.
almost true resur. You may certainly try. Like, I think Borden has a way to trap the soul in a ring.
Yeah, so here's the other bit, right?
If something eats you and you come out the other end, would that work?
I don't think you can true res a pile of poop.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's not actually that person. That's their waste. I don't think that will work. Can as for various cleric
Well,
spells and
And I don't
It-
plan on getting
it
eaten
would
anytime
work.
soon.
it would work, but if that thing also eats someone else, then you get like a strange mingle of the two people.
Hello, Cindy, Zareth. How are you doing?
Yeah, you want to talk about some multiple personality issue.
utility. That's the word I was looking for. Utility. Okay.
So, including Oscar, we have 5 people to issue downtime funds.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to get at. So, gee, I don't suppose you remember the rarity of the items you want to get rid of, do you?
The demon plate's a very rare object.
Wait, we have that?
You
You're
yeah,
not
that-
touching it.
They're keeping it out of your hands. It's being liquidated right now.
You are not putting it on. You are not looking at it. You are not. You're bad enough already sometimes.
No. I'm just like, wait,
All
we
right.
have that thing?
All right. So here's the question. So we'll say you're going around town to liquidate funds. Are you bringing anybody with you to get you help on any checks you might have to make?
I mean, I figured we could all march around because
All right. So
we also
basi-
have that golden box, the chest,
right.
in 2 parts.
Oh yeah. See,
And I was
there's
going to
several-
reassemble that.
So basically, what I need to know is what we have to deal with.
Oh, and we got that potion of a giant growth or something that looks like
Yeah,
a
the
lava
potion of
lamp.
growth.
Yeah, didn't we want to put that in an enchanted potion file so that we had an actual lava lamp?
I'm not
display.
because I've also got to play mommy board because I got this wyvern egg to work on too,
Ooh, yeah.
which is going to be a significant piece of my downtime.
lot of fun stuff we got going on
Assuming
here.
it
But
hatches.
first, let's work with the spreadsheet.
Alright.
Gonna be stuck sitting on the egg for the entire
I am
week.
not sitting on the egg. You can go somewhere.
You got Riley sitting on the egg. That's why you hired him.
No, you got me hugging the egg. Always
You
making sure it's warm.
no.
You're
Why
smart.
not?
Get the fuck out.
You try
No.
to stab people with a sword so that
I'm
you
surprised
can
you're not stabbing that egg.
I already have what it is, so I don't need it.
Alright.
I'm surprised she didn't try to stab me.
Hey, I'm common enough to not stab.
You're.
I'm.
Do I have to look up what else tastes like? Hold on a sec.
Please no.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I'll let you know
Alright,
if you'll taste
So,
good.
okay, so to put together this chest
Yes,
real
yeah,
quick,
yeah.
so we can reassemble it and get it, cell ready, a little bit of polish.
I would
And
say
then I guess
just to
best
see
tools
how.
to put the hinges and all back in.
Yeah. Let's do smithing to see how well you can put this thing and make it presentable to sell.
Didn't you just pop out?
Yeah, I popped the pins out of the hinges, but
Now
you
he's
got to
gotta fix
realign it.
Yeah, he's got to fix it now, and make sure they don't slide
can-
back out. And
I'm good.
Yeah. With all that, you kind of replace the pins completely. Like the pins were shot after you chopped them out, but you found material to make new pins out of, or you found a way to get some pins from like a local smith or whatever. Because you're still doing like all this other stuff as well, so it's kind of like accumulating. Like you're finding resources, and you're like, oh, I can use that to fix the chest. So you get the chest fixed up. It looks almost like you saw it. Where do you want to present this lovely chest? Who do you think will buy it?
Well, we've got an unexplored avenue, perhaps, which is if there is a high dollar, like, fancy schmancy auction house type place where the nobles go to,
Oh yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah,
show off how rich they are.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'd love to.
So you want to see about co-signing this off to an auction house? That's an interesting location we never even considered in the campaign. I will definitely make note of that.
Because this is the royal city. I'm sure they have a Sotheby's there.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Sotheby's auction. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely auction. Like it's one of those things we don't think about. So we can definitely. I mean, it's going to be up to chance, but you might get more for it at a consignment off of an auction house than you would just selling it directly to a vendor. I would agree with that. So, what should we do here? I'd say.
Because that'll take care of the chest at least.
I think I would have to. I would say, tell the person who has taken the chest on consignment what your asking prices are and how low you would go, and then we'll see how high it goes from there.
Well, see, you gave us a flat, wholesale price on it.
Yeah, I gave you a flat wholesale price, which was 500 gold, I believe.
And that's wholesale. That's selling it to the shopkeeper who has to make their own dime on it as well.
Right. Like, that price might actually get nicked if you try to sell it to a shopkeeper. But, yeah.
Would
So
it be like
what
650 then?
What would it cost to produce such a chest yourself? Material-wise and time-wise?
A lot of different materials that would probably be more trouble to get than to actually put together. I mean, this thing looks gold-plated. The box itself has, oak or hickory, some kind of wood that's inlaid inside so that whatever's inside there is not getting scratched up from metal to metal. And, there were metal bands going around it. And,
Wasn't it solid gold or something?
Yeah, the chest outside looked like a solid gold chest, but it still had other features going around it, because you still gotta put
gold is not a structural material. You gotta have reinforcements.
You have to have metal reinforcement to go with it. So it looks very pricey, and I think if you're trying to replicate it, I don't think any of you would have the skills to replicate it, let alone the resource materials. To
not
make
alone, we wouldn't. But
not
together,
alone, What I want to know is, say, to make this chest, it will cost around 1,000 gold. So then our minimum asking price for it is 700-800 for it.
All right.
So that's going to shoot the gap between what we were told the shopkeep would buy it for and what it would take to, build itself. And
Right, so,
750.
Yeah, here's
750, the reserve price, I guess.
Yeah, you're low end, so you want at least 750 for it if you don't get 800 or higher. If it's just nobody's bidding on it and they have to lower the bid for them to buy it, then that's what they're gonna do.
Okay, if they start bidding at 1,000 and no one goes in, well then start it at 8.
Yeah,
and no one goes in on it, start it at 7, see if anyone goes in, and then the bid goes from there. It's a reserve price. If it's not met, it doesn't sell.
Yeah, so here's the 3 numbers I need from you. I want you to write them in the lowest you'll take, the starting bid, and the highest bid that you're expecting to get.
Storage Wars.
Yeah. Welcome to D&D Storage Wars. Dungeon Wars.
Reserve.
So 750 is the lowest you'll take. If nobody starts bidding on it at 1,000 and they start creeping the bet down until somebody bets, 750 is the lowest you'll go. So what is the flat rate that you want the starting bid to start at. That's the second number I need.
1,000 then, I guess, because that is
So
shop
we'll go,
price.
Yeah, put me 1,000 up there, board. And then the upper end is just to help them judge how much they are going to kind of charge you if you actually succeed in getting to that point. And that'll be like their cut off to where any extra they give you is definitely going all to you, but they can only charge you like a fee for going up this high. So what's the highest you expect this to sell for? And if they get it higher, they're not going to take any more than what they already agreed on. So there's still going to be a price to put it up for auction that you're going to have to do to reserve this thing going on. So just tell me a high number that you want this to sell at. And if it goes beyond that...
There, but 1,500 sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, we could do structural talking together here.
I feel like it'd be fair enough to give them a 10%, cut.
Yeah, so wherever you want to cut it off.
Up to...
And they'll keep running the bid up until it drops. Like when people stop bidding on it. And I'm just going to kind of roll with it. I'm going to make DC checks all the way up to a high DC, and then once the DC stops hitting, that's when the people are going to stop. And I'll be raising the price in increments. But if you don't even hit the beginning DC, this thing ain't going to sell. So just kind of, these are the numbers we're going to be kind of playing with.
So that's what I'm looking at right there.
Alright, so that's what we're looking at.
So they'll get 10% of the total sell price up to 1,500.
Now,
and then a bonus after sale if the price exceeds 1,500.
I will do auctions only during downtime because I think that'll make downtime a little bit fun for everybody.
Well, yeah, because we've got to get it consigned. They've got to put some word out for that auction in the week.
This
will be something coming through mid or end of the week.
Yeah. So with this chest going up, I will ask: is there any other pieces in your inventories that you want to put on auction that you think would be auction worthy?
I don't know if the demon armor is even worth putting on auction because it's super damn pricey on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe there is some idiots that wants to have it. Maybe we can check up by the auction itself if they're interesting in selling such.
You want to double check demon armor's rare?
Hey, you never know.
I mean, it's technically demon armor, but flip side of this token, guys. If we drop it on auction and don't sit in ourselves, we're not going to be sure of who bought it.
The dragon cultists could buy it. You never know.
Oh, yeah. Your enemies could get stronger because you decided to put up armor you didn't want to sell to a vendor. Either way, they could still buy it from the vendor. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
It's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I mean, the best way you could do it is probably not sell it at all. Yeah, so this is very rare.
Let's just give it to Cindy.
I'm not giving it to Cindy.
If I remember correctly, it has a really bad side effect. But
basically, demons own you at that point.
Thank you.
If you go to hell, you're fucked.
But you look so pretty in it.
All right, so
No, there's no pretty about it.
All right, so
but it's a very pretty set with her weird candy sword.
Wow, we are getting far in this campaign, guys. I'm in.
Yes. First, I love the.
So we're having enough fun with it. We're having enough fun.
I'm happy. All right, so basically, this rarity kind of ranges from 5,000 gold to 50,000 gold. So, and knowing how I do things, like I definitely start in the median or worse, especially if it's that big of a difference. Whenever I consider buying stuff, so like if you were to try to sell this to an armor shop, or I even think like this kind of armor might put like a smith out of money until he could sell it. So maybe the auction would be better.
Like on its own, it's a +1 armor.
I would say auction it. You might get more out of it, and you would definitely get your money faster, because if you go through an armor, I think he would cap out at like however much this thing's worth, and he wouldn't have any money to work with for the rest of the week, and he wouldn't make that decision. You know what I mean? Because he wouldn't know when. It'd
be one of those things where they want it bad, but they can't afford.
Right. So like, there's only so much money in the shop. Even though, like, a lot of these vendors will be quick to help trade, but, like, the magic shop, maybe? Because they do have more items and they do provide for wizards, but
At the very least, you guys could trade it in for other magical items.
you could do swap, yeah. That's an option, too. So, take your time. Figure out what you want to do here. But auction might get you instant cash, or you can try to trade for stuff at the magic shop.
We're still circling around party fund dispensation that everyone needs to get a hold of so they know
Yeah.
their downtime cash. Zareth, you needed at least 250 gold for your week's worth of alchemy training.
Well, for training, and then probably a little bit extra for materials.
I mean, I was going to consider, like, to get the initial materials and all that would be included in the 250. But this will make you proficient in alchemy.
Okay, now that is
I'm
something that I would like to do, yes.
I'm going to regret in probably at least one case doing this. Everyone gets 300 gold, totaling 1,500 out of the party fund.
Which leaves you with what? As far
We're
as...
still sitting pretty party fund wise at around 13.2 thousand.
Oh.
I don't mean to be facetious, but why am I getting gold?
Well, you're included in the Secret Santa for one, and if you don't pick it up now, it'll be waiting as a sign-on bonus.
Okay,
assuming
fair
the
enough.
recruitment.
Yeah.
Like this
I'm-
just makes my math easier right now.
Fair enough.
And here's what we're going to do. Like, during this week here, I would hope Borden would have that conversation with Leslie saying, look, notice you had... you can have this conversation whenever you want, but just, like, hey, I seen you at work. I seen you are a dedicated person. I heard about you from father. You want to...
Yeah, honestly, the interaction with the kids would be the more impressive bit, because Borden's got the soft spot for kids.
Yeah, and, whenever you want to have that conversation, but I can kind of see it, like, happening, within this downtime. Maybe you two are in the soup kitchen line helping each other, feeding families and stuff, and having this conversation. Or you're passing out presents, Just pick a moment. Let me know if it's coming up, and I will definitely go there, because we want to get you in here,
Right.
Leslie.
So, okay, morning of day one.
Yeah.
Knowing that, we've got, like, we're going to take, the time for the holidays. We've got Secret Santas. We've all got projects and shit to do on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So morning one would be putting the chest back together.
Mm-hmm.
And then dispersion of money,
Mm-hmm.
For everyone.
Yeah, you got a little
the
bit
group.
more stuff to do, so you can go ahead and do the financial stuff that relates to the company and that stuff without wasting any of your extra turns or whatever. Like, stuff that needs to be done, but, like, stuff that you want to do for yourself.
The demon play is a big sticking point, because auction, yeah, but...
It's probably faster money, but, like was suggested, you can use it for trade or hold on to it. Maybe it'll have a different use later.
Hey, on the bright side, if a villain buys it, we could just sell it again.
If a villain we find buys it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also...
And then
I was
hire a
also
tiefling.
thinking we could...
Hire a
hire
tiefling.
a tiefling and use...
Have a tiefling rogue assassin.
Minerva!
Yeah, there you go.
Because she's always presented as a tiefling.
We got a present for you. Oh, I got some fun stuff playing with Minerva too, so don't worry. Nothing bad.
But no.
Nothing bad.
Is for
Another
the slow-
thing...
Yeah.
So what we could do is, with the demon armor, is a slow and steady a cash income and rent it to an armorer for a showpiece.
That takes some persuasion, but not out of the realm of possibility.
And
Well,
if they paid off the entire price of the armor and it has not been sold at that point, it's theirs.
See, because we could take this one step farther. Shopkeeps only have so much, and auction is questionable.
Yeah, I mean, you
We
would at least
could
get the
walk up
less.
to the castle and be like, hey, so we found this incredibly, possibly, powerful and dangerous thing. Is there a premium you guys give for adding it to the horde, so to speak? the treasure hoard that the castle undoubtedly has.
And then a bunch of orcs come out and takes the armor and throws it into the horde.
Because that was another idea. It's like, hey, we found this thing that we don't want slipping loose to the wrong people.
I think we're overthinking it.
Yeah, I mean, you can just
Yeah. Sell it. Sell it on the
You-
auction. That
you-
seems fine.
sell it or keep it. Just do one or the other. It's no big
I mean,
deal.
I don't want it around like it all mostly,
Alright.
because I'm not gonna waste a spell slot to unattune somebody to this shit.
Well,
Send
then,
that auction. We'll deal with it in like 50 sessions from now. Just send it.
yeah, just sell it. I'd say liquidate.
Sod it.
Alright,
And
so we're gonna
we'll-
put the. So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the chest being put up for auction. I'm seeing the demon plate being put up for auction. Give me low. First.
Well,
bid.
you've never given us the price on the
Well,
demon
no,
plate.
I told you the demon plate can range anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000 according to its rarity, which you could pick however you want to go in there, but it's not going to be a guarantee you're going to get 50k for it, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's practically
Yeah.
guaranteed. We won't get 50k.
Like, if I was selling this stuff, I'd probably say flat out 50k, because, you know, that you need to drag that price down on that point. But at this point, it's like you're hoping to get... What are you hoping to get between 5 to 50?
As a bare minimum, 8, just because it is so rare.
You're aiming a lot lower than I was
Yeah.
angling at.
I'm going for 20,000. Seems good.
And that's like the bare minimum.
Alright, so what is the minimum bid that Borden thinks this should be at?
At the reserve price, to where we don't sell it unless it meets.
Yeah, if the bids aren't coming in and they have to lower the bid, what's the price you want on it? Like, what's the lowest you'll take for the armor? Because they're not going to start at that price, but if they have to go down to sell it, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's like like I had the reserve. The sale price. Start bids here, go down from there if you need.
Yeah. You know the routine. So what's the dead price? Like, what's the price that you will take if it doesn't sell at the minimum? Like, what's that dead price? A lot of maintenance going on this session, folks. Be patient.
25?
So I was gonna put the 20k reserve where it doesn't sell unless it makes reserve.
You could do that too. Like, if it don't sell for the price that you want, they'll just give it back to you. And then you could try it next time you have a downtime as well. Now, I will say, like, the very rare stuff like this, the starting DCs might be a little higher.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to finish giving me numbers so I can start rolling dice, dude.
I'm just gonna make that one nice and cut and dry there. Oh, okay, no, it just merged them weird.
Alright, so...
And then that'll be their cut up to 35 grand,
Alright.
because we're talking a lot more than just, 1,000 gold here.
Now, how do I want to do this? So auction night comes around.
Wouldn't
Sometime
the starting
during
bid be 20,000 instead?
They're gonna
Yeah.
work up to the sale price on this one because
Yeah.
it's obviously, expensive and fancy, but you throw a 20k sticker on it, people might not start the bidding.
Alright, so the starting bid for a golden chest, they bring out your golden chest, show it off. Elegantly designed, a masterful piece. You want it for your collection, you know you want it. I will let somebody roll a persuasion to determine a DC. The higher your persuasion, the lower the starting DC will be.
I can do this.
Alright, DC has been set. Do I have any opening bids? And the opening bid is starting at 1,000. DC of 8 has been met. I have 1,000. Do I have 1,200? 1,200. 1,200. DC's now 10. No 1,200. How about 1,150? 1,150 in the back. 1,150 in the back. 11 will make the next DC since it lowered. Now we're back up to 12. I got 11. Let's go to 12. 12. 12. 12. Continuing up, the bid goes. And see, now
The
we're
bidding war begins. This is
bidding-
good news.
This is good news. We got 2 more successes. We're up to 1,800. DC has now increased to the point where just rolling a 20-sided dice is not going to do. I will allow somebody other than Sydney to make another persuasion check to lower the DC.
I'll make that one.
Please don't make me do persuasion.
Don't make me do persuasion.
The current DC is now set to
Persuasion.
16. You managed to lower it back down to 12.
Do I get advantage?
No, you do not. You lowered the DC back to 12. So we continue making 20-sided dice rolls. Oops, I'll make these public, I'm sorry. This one rolled 13, so 12 has been met. The price of the box is now up to 2,000. And then a natural 1. The bidding starts to slow down. 2,000 going once. 2,000 going twice. Sold for 2,000 to the man in the back. And so your chest will sell for 2,000 minus 10%.
After 50.
1,800.
Yeah.
No, so it's
you-
150 on the commission.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. So
Yeah. I've
What'd you all
got
think?
math open.
does that sound good for a bidding
So, go
war?
ahead.
I think that sounded good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to give everybody a chance to kind of push into it too.
I do on this last one. If it goes cold, I want to percentile it like 5% for someone to jump in and be like, "Fuck it, I want it. It's mine."
That'd be 1,800 gold you get actually. 10% of that.
The premium stopped at 1,500, and then the bonus
Oh,
would
okay, yeah,
be
you're right.
decided
You're
on
right.
that.
I apologize. Yeah, that was the roll I made. You're right. Yeah. Okay, good. So you got your money figured out.
So,
right?
yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I've got my.
All right. Less math from me, the better. All right. So now we're breaking out the demon plate, and right now the current DC, because the demon plate is very rare and there might not be many people who want to buy it, is currently set at 18. If anybody wants to give me, besides Sydney and Zareth, I'm trying to think what would be a good roll for the others, because persuasion was kind of geared towards the charismas.
Arcane? Maybe?
Well,
No,
no.
please.
Religion.
I would go with religion.
Religion's good for me.
I would
I
go
can do
with-
Arcana.
So here's what I'll do. I'll ask for religion from, and the only reason I'm allowing religion and arcana is because this is a demon plate. It's made of magic, and you're trying to convince these people that this magical armor is worth having. Even if it's cursed, you can just do so much. You're just spinning the webs on it. So, Borden, why don't you give me a religion check and see if we can't drop this 18 to something else. That will get us back to 12. So DC's 12. And we're starting to bid at, what was the starting bid again? We kind of scrolled.
15k?
Yeah, start the bid at 15.
Alright,
And the
so
selling price was 20.
15k comes up in the air as the auctioneer points out this lovely demon plate that's obviously cursed as fuck. But you guys kind of put into words for him to kind of sell it. And he's telling everybody, alright, this demon plate's up for sale. Do I have 15k? 15k in the back. Oh, no 15k. 15k. And then the lower bid was,
That's why I said it should have been 20,000, not 15,000.
No, the reserve price is 20. Start the bidding at 15. Go down and then work back up if interest gets generated.
yeah, so what's
That's the starting bid. So go down to 14.
Alright, so you
See
want
if
him
anyone bites at 14.
Alright, so DC goes 13 now because nobody was interested. He's like, all right, then we'll bring it down to 14K. 14K going once. Anybody? Oh, this thing is not selling. Nobody seems to be interested in it right now. The auctioneer kind of turns towards your group and asks, "You want me to lower it one more?"
I mean, it's not meeting reserve at this rate anyway.
So right now he's down. See, we did 15, 14. And he's asking, "You want me to drop it to 13 and see if we can get it?" Hey. Hold on. You're cooking.
Us or him?
I would say just let it sit with them and let them market it a little bit more to generate more interest for the next possible
I will
auction.
take a break here shortly and see if I can help you there. I might have
Not
to take
the
a break,
worst
but
idea.
let's see if we can't resolve some of this.
Because
Alright.
you know they still haven't come close to meeting the reserve price on it. Because that's not even half of max. You know what you'd ask from us. So
Yeah.
I
These
think we should
cheapskates
probably
can go somewhere.
trade it then.
Yeah,
I think we
so-
should trade it with the magic shop then.
Yeah, he's like telling you guys, I can try to get 13 and maybe try to raise interest into it again, but otherwise I don't know if this thing's going to sell if we keep it at the current price.
Well, maybe hold on to it and market it a bit more for the next auction.
I'm thinking
Alright,
trade
so,
fodder or market. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Well,
just
we
waiting.
can leave it with them, and should we have need of it, we can come pick it up, and we'll give them a modest storage fee, I guess.
Unfortunately,
worst.
the crowd must have been tapped out or so then. So he's like, alright, so you don't want me to offer him 13K and see if we can't raise it again? Or, I guess you're right, these people are probably all tapped out for tonight. So we're keeping the armor then.
Yes.
Alright, so the armor doesn't sell. It goes back into your collection, whether you let them hang on to it or not. It's up to you to, keep track of where it's at. But they tell you, alright, well, we could try it next week, whenever the auction hits again, and then maybe we'll have better luck. But here's your payout, and they give you the payout for the golden chest, and mark the golden chest off your list. Take that money and run, and they thank you for your customs, and hope to see you next week. And that was your auctioning adventure.
That was fun.
In total, they made 175 off the sale, just for their little bit.
Welcome,
you
Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar's here.
Yay!
Didn't miss a thing. We've been playing for about 3 hours. Taxes.
Yes, taxes.
Yeah, no.
Goddamn compound interest.
Telling you. We just auctioned off the golden box. These guys had a moment at the church with Father Aram, and we dealt with the assassins. And wow, memory back with Zareth. I think that's about it.
Yeah, Zareth got his mind back.
Yeah, he's no longer having headaches. But and now we're just trying to spend downtime, as we're trying to make sure people have money to actually spend during their downtime, which is the first thing we kind of went through. So, demon armor kept, box sold, everybody got. Tell him how much money he's making.
I told the auctioneer how much money he made.
No. Tell Oscar how much money he has now for his downtime week, because he wasn't
I
here.
have -1.
Tell him how. Oh shit, he's got that coin.
I'm going to
Wasn't
hold
it-
Oscar's money and let him pick it up as he needs. And by pick it up as he needs, I mean come get me when he needs it.
Yeah. You'll be his
Wasn't
financial
the coin
spender.
like?
He cannot
Was-
have that coin in
wasn't
his
the-
possession and around his money. Otherwise, it'll
Yeah,
eat
but
it.
wasn't it in the same purse?
He
No,
only
that
had-
coin has never come to my possession.
Yeah, he identified. He knows what it does, and he told, "Here, hold on to my money. I'm gonna keep this." So yeah, all right. So yeah, you have Oscar's money. Tell him how much you have for him to spend.
You have 300 gold for downtime expenses, should you choose to use it.
And Zareth, we finished everything up to a point with you, right? Like you did your 2 things, right?
Yes.
Was there anything else? Like I know you wanted the alchemy, and you managed to spend the week training and paying for the services, and then getting your own kit. Was there anything else you wanted to try to do? Can't learn any more skills, but was there any events you needed trigger in town through NPCs or through your party?
I would like to try to reproduce that poison that the assassins used.
Why
So
don't you
that
just
I
have
have something
Oscar turn into wyvern form and have him squeeze poison into a vial?
I'm going to say that
Well-
it took you the entire week to learn alchemy to that point, but if you want to make a check any other time after this week, you can try.
Because I also have 4 wyvern poison sacks, and I want to work up to something like that. But that already did cross my
You
mind.
do
but
have
thank you.
poisoner's kit, so I will allow you. I will allow you one roll to see if you can produce some poisons with the poison sacks with your poisoner kit. So go ahead and make me a roll.
15.
I'll say you get about 3 vials of poison. Put a question mark by it.
Okay.
And that way I will describe their lethality. Just make sure you remind me it has a question mark by it. That way I'll hint towards that mental thought I had. Just say you have the poison vials plus question mark, and you're either dipping your arrow or you're using it on something, and then we'll figure it out from there. So Zareth, your turns are kind of burned for now. Who wants to go next? And
I could go next,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, and like I said, this is the general stuff that you're doing for your character, not per se the events that we have planned. So we're gonna go back, do the events, but what do you want to do for your character for this whole downtime that you got? First, I'll
I
ask.
think
you,
I want to
Oh, go ahead.
learn the cooking utensils.
All right, same situation as Zareth. You will need to spend 250 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and then over the course of the week, you find better cooking utensils to bring into the shop. You find better ingredients to make better foods, and you have a knowledge of the town to where you know where to buy the right meat, you know where to buy the right seasonings, you know where all the good spices are. So your cooking utensil skill has been learned, and you can use that to cook supper for your crew or whatever you feel like. And also
Yay.
the bakery scenario that we kind of talked about is something you might want to bring up in a discussion. I'll let that be like a side event. So as far as your character's concerned, is there anybody you want to talk to, visit, or just have a conversation with in like your personal players here or any NPC?
First, I just wanted to talk about trying to establish the cooking area with everyone.
We've got a kitchen, so
Yeah, well, yeah, and like I said, the bakery discussion can happen like at the end of the week or during the week as an event. We'll put that as an event item. So we'll come back to that as an event. But I'm like talking about for your character. Is there information you need to learn for your character? Is there any NPCs you're interested in getting in touch with? Maybe they're not here, but there might be a different way you can get in touch with them.
Could I try to get on the good side of the mage and try to teach him light spell? Is that okay or no?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to talk to Relay up there at the Arcanium, right? Or not, his name isn't Relay, but he runs that Arcanium up there. And he had a name, and just because...
Redford Relay?
Redford. Yeah, I think that was his name, Redford. My OneNote is acting up, which I thought this was a perfect program to save this stuff in, but yeah.
One sec, I have to move the dog that's in my basement for some reason. I'll be back for one.
I think what we'll have to have him do is make an intelligence check, because when you're teaching somebody how to do something, he's a warlock. He just snaps his finger, or she snaps her fingers, it's done.
She's got a sugar daddy that does the stuff for her.
Right, and this is a wizard you're trying to... So it's going to be an intelligence check. to see if they can even explain the principle, because Warlock and Wizard, two different schools there. So it might not
Okay.
even go well. So yeah, make an intelligence check as you try to assist and help him try to learn the light spell.
Intelligence check?
Yep, because
Okay.
he's a wizard and you're a warlock.
Okay.
Well, better than that other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a talk with him, and he tries to get better at it, and you're kind of forcing him into practicing it more on his own, more than you're actually teaching him. And he's like, the smoke's not happening as much, and there are times when a flicker of light starts to ignite and hold, but it's never permanent, and it fades within seconds. So he's still not getting the hang of it, and a warlock trying to teach a wizard how to do it doesn't seem to help. The only thing that's really helping him is you're giving him moral support more than actually teaching him anything. So that moral support might actually be helping him get the confidence to actually learn the spell. But it wasn't super, but he retained as much as he could from you. Was there anything
Okay.
else? I mean, that wasn't too hard to deal with.
Mm,
I mean, let's see here. So Sarah, you,
Or just
Lucelyn, was there anything that you wanted to do? Because I think most of the stuff needs to happen during the event for you.
So, what are the options again? Because you've been going back and forth like crazy, and I haven't had time to think of what I would do.
Yeah, you can work on a stat or skill, or feat, like it's stated in the book. Like if you want to work towards a feat. Now I will say, there will be checks for feats, and if you can't make 3 checks, then you don't learn the feat, and you wasted that downtime. But if you're wanting to obtain a skill, like the cooking utensils or anything like that, we're just doing a flat 250 gold. You spend a week with somebody who knows what they're doing, and they kind of get you started, and you become proficient enough to actually use that as a check.
Okay. I would say since Lasalin's been around, but he's mostly been kind of in the background. He hasn't paid much attention to all the large world-shaping stuff and all the important stuff. He would probably spend a week learning and researching, basically learning how to be better at history. Just seeing what he missed while he was busy in the army and wandering and stuff like that.
Alright, so you want to learn history. I will make you... There'll be 3 different DCs for this. The first one, you're just getting into it. The DC will go up, and the DC will go up to a final number. First DC you have to meet is an intelligence check, and it'll be a DC 12. Good luck.
11.
Alright, we're going to say you try to put some work into it. The DC was originally going to jump to 14, but it's now going to be 16.
Okay, so no intelligence.
Yeah, another intelligence. We're going to do it in 3 stages and see how far you get into it. Luck be a
so I'm
lady.
proficient in intelligence. Could I lend some assistance if he stops by for tea, asking questions, perhaps?
Not for this. I mean, you can say you were there to help him, but as far as getting a help action on this, no. This is him retaining the knowledge and actually, being able to access it mentally. The new DC is 18. And if you make this DC, you will now be proficient in current history. Which
What's the
probably-
DC you said?
It's going to be 18, so another intelligence. Good luck.
Nope.
No. There was certain things that you were trying to piece together, and then with you being out, having all these battles off and on, and losing track of certain things, there's certain things in your mind you just don't agree with, just because, no, I fought for a different reason. That's not why we went there. So you're having these conflicting thoughts with the actual history books. Maybe the books you picked up were fabricated, and you know better, and it's just not... Your knowledge is not common with what everybody else knows, so it's hard to say what is what. So you weren't able to pick up history, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll try again another time, I imagine.
Yeah. We might do more of this. I'm kind of enjoying this too. But you're not really familiar with many NPCs, so that was the other option, like having an NPC conversation or a PC conversation. I mean, you could go visit Borden or one of the others if you want. Otherwise,
Sure, I'll stop by. Stop by to say hi to Riley and these folks. I imagine I just go up to the store this time. This time I'll wear my gear.
Yeah, bring your gear,
Because
man.
these people have fucking assassins after them.
Absolutely.
So my character's like,
These guys are fucking bad news. We should have brought that up to begin with, but yeah, you're right. Bring your gear just in case.
We're not bad news. Bad news finds us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They attract negativity. They don't know how, but they do. But yeah. So yeah, you come with your gear, and this could be a conversation with everybody if you want. This is like the next day, perhaps. And we'll still go into downtime with the people I miss, but like you guys can all have a conversation, participate together, and maybe even invite him in. So if you want to try to get him in, this will be the time to do it. So
No, obviously I'm inviting him through the doorway.
yeah. So Riley's on guard as you come up to the location.
Riley can be on guard inside the house, kind of like a doorman.
Yeah, but he likes to sit out there and sit on the stoop.
I'm just
and
thinking if it's chilly, he can come in to, warm up and shit.
Yeah, but
Like,
he's
we're not
like,
that mean.
Oh no, I know. He knows that. He's just kind of looking outside because there's still guards that kind of walk the street that he shoots the shit with. And Oscar, I've already been putting down that you've been inscribing all your spells into your book, so don't even worry about it. During this whole week, you will have all your spells already added to your ritual
No,
book.
I have something else planned. during
Oh,
the
okay.
week.
Well, in that case, yeah. Since we wrap this scene up, it's going to come to you next. But yeah.
yeah, this time I come in, my cloak's reversed, not wearing the symbols of the kingdom this time. Try to be a little more conspicuous. This time I am wearing armor, and it has the letter studs that helps it be more protective.
There you go.
And kind of carrying on my shoulder, not ready to fire, but ready to aim just in case. It's this beautiful, crossbow that someone has obviously, over the years, not only taken good care of it, but inscribed things onto the limbs and into the stock. And it has a bunch of symbols, some on the left, some on the right. I don't know who knows what language here, so it would depend if your character can actually read them.
What language is it in?
Primordial.
I'm out.
I'm out.
What about Sydney and Oscar?
I'm out. I can't read Primordial. If it was my other character that knows all languages, then yes.
Oscar? Alright, we're in this camp. None of you know comprehend languages? Anyway, so none of them know. None of them know, and none of them are smart enough to use comprehend languages, so...
Smart enough to use comprehend. Excuse you.
I am kidding. I know you
I
guys
could
are.
learn it if I really wanted to.
But they didn't decide to equip that spell today, or they didn't tell me they had it. I don't know. I don't know what Oscar has. That's the thing. So,
You can always ask it, though, at least.
yeah. So...
I mean, I'd be curious enough to ask about it, but I'm not gonna, press for
Yeah.
details.
So
exactly.
right off the bat, none of you know what it says, but yeah, Riley greets you at the door. He's like, "Oh, hey, coming to visit again?"
Yeah, Riley, just checking in on you and making sure these folks weren't molested in the night by shady individuals.
Well, I ain't seen nobody here since last night, so everything seems to be clear on this end. Yeah, head on inside. They're all just kind of chilling out, relaxing. Finally, man, he'll just kind of stay out there and wait, and you're free to walk in.
All right, and this is for you. And I hand him like a pouch of some crossbow bolts I probably made in my downtime. They're more decorative than
Useful.
happy Jew.
Oh well, hey, thanks, appreciate it.
Which one I walk in? Is anyone like in the entry or something? Like the
I would be in the kitchen area, which is kind of close.
Yeah, it's like off to the right is their kitchen area, and then further up from there, I guess, away from the door, is where the actual kitchen is. The dining area is south of where the actual kitchen is, if you're looking at it from you coming in from northeast, southwest around you. Off to the left, as you enter, you see the antechamber where you guys were having like that casual sit-down chat. Where Zareth, you're reading that book, right?
Well, I'm now probably during this week. I will probably be reading some kind of book about alchemy, so I will be on the dining table doing stuff with it, I guess.
Okay. And you all can kind of place yourself wherever you want. Matter of fact, I can bring us to the sheet where I kind of made the base floor here. Going to be flipping through a couple maps here, so hey, I said put them here so I can move them further. Taking a short break in the lava castle. No.
Lava castle. Nice.
I don't even know what the hell that is. I'm moving to place.
Evening, ladies and
There. Now you guys can put your tokens wherever you want to be.
No control.
You should be able to move it.
No, they don't. Let's see here.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, so yeah, you guys can kind of move into wherever you are. And as you're walking in there, all these guys are over here in the dining area. Borden's over there just sitting in front of the fire. And Sydney's in the kitchen cooking up some grub.
evening, ladies and gents. Hopefully, all of you slept with one eye open last night.
Never slept with one eye open a day in my life.
Don't worry, I have a barricade on the window and lock the door.
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see you're all alive. Just tried to pop in before all that charity work we gotta do. Make sure you were, settled and such.
Wait, we gotta do what?
I've got charity work to do. You guys... Cindy volunteered.
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking about charity, try some of the food that I'm trying to prepare for the event.
The soup kitchen, you mean, or something else?
You're not making that blue jelly stuff again, are you?
No, don't worry, I'm making good food. Here's some.
Speaking of which, make a Constitution saving throw.
Me?
Cindy.
Oh, I made cooking utensils.
I don't care. I want a con from you now.
Okay, con save, got it.
Finally! All these feathers fall into your lovely cooked dinner. It was going to be perfect, but your feathers fall out, your skin turns back to normal. The wild magic that possessed you all these days has finally faded.
Now, if I remember correctly, it said exploded. Is there any damage?
It's not a dangerous
No,
explosion.
it's just a poof.
Okay.
Like it's blew off your blew off your face, and you're like cooking there, and then all of it just kind of drops into your stew, or it drops into your soups, or it drops into your jelly you're making, or whatever it is that you were mixing together at the time. Some flour got up your nose, and then there it goes. You're finally free of the feathers and the blue skin. Everybody was looking at you funny all this time, but now
I go over and present the food on the table, then say, "Oh yeah, this is what I actually look like new guy."
yeah.
And then properly just tilt my head down, sad past all these hours.
You got all these feathers scattered over this lovely dinner. It smells good, but yeah. No, I'm not touching it.
I'm not touching it.
Slowly.
Well,
leave
that's
the spiders.
I guess this brings a new meaning to the word fine cuisine. I just chuckled to myself because it's a terrible joke.
Olive looked over and chuckled at the situation as a whole in front of the fire.
Yeah.
Kinda sad though, I like the beard.
Something you need to tell us there, Zareth.
Yeah, sir. What's with that? What's insight?
Yeah, roll insight.
do you
You like
mean?
bearded women? I mean, I'm confused too. No, it's whatever you want to tell them, Zareth. You have no
It
idea.
It
Or-
looked ridiculous.
Okay.
She wasn't sure you were hitting on her or what.
Didn't
Or if
like
you had a preference for
bearded
bearded
shit?
women, yeah. I have some dwarf friends. Would you like to meet them? No, but yeah. So you're all here having this conversation.
So I was a little curious. Y'all mentioned you knew a little bit about that outstanding. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing a bit of information. Was thinking of taking a quick job just to make a little money for, the kids. This jubilee here in the city. But if you don't know anything, that's mighty fine.
Oh, is this the drug slinging dickhead?
I think so.
I heard him.
This is
cut
the one
out.
that was-
I wasn't sure if he was talking about a bounty he looked at. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's talking about a bounty, the drug slinger who was wanted alive only.
Yes, definitely.
Is
That's
that this one?
That's who he's talking about, yeah. But I don't think anybody's followed up on any leads, so you don't know any more than what he knows.
Was it Intara? I think its name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that comes to mind now that I have my memory back? As places where I can look for information like that?
You don't know if you can trust any place that you knew of because you think everything's compromised now.
Well, nothing wrong with asking.
Well, I'm not sure that anything I can point you at is reliable at this point.
No, I understand that. Just asking. I figured you folks might be well connected. I've heard great things of you from Rob.
The last time we took a bounty, she cozied up to some vampires and headed off to the north.
Vampires, you say? Now, that's a creature I can't say I've tangled with before. Or at least I don't think I.
Our tangle was prematurely ended, shall we say.
Yeah.
I have a scale on my quiz for the next 5 minutes.
Have
Just
fun with
thinking
that.
about the vampires.
And he looks obviously even more than normal for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, that didn't go very well.
So we're still planning on catching up with that old friend, so to speak. What was the body count? Star, what did we get the body count at?
I don't think we got an actual body count of what she killed, but
Somewhere around 10, I believe, in a week.
Yeah, there are 10 confirmed, and then possible, but not enough to convict on, I guess.
yeah. So there's probably at least 15 to 20 different scenarios where she's probably the prime suspect that you've heard of off and on. Could be more, could be less.
So yeah,
Certain things might have
10
been
confirmed,
exaggerated.
possibly more.
But yeah, definitely 10 confirmed.
Mind if I take a seat?
Please.
Yeah, I'll just walk over to the living space, which is weird because everyone's like kind of scattered.
Yeah.
And
There's a
I'm enjoying the
dining table
fire
here.
in the winter months. You can go somewhere, you bunch of weirdos.
yeah, that's why I went towards the fire.
Well, I
I
mean, there's
assumed I'd be finishing up the research.
And
yeah,
I'm constantly warm, so I kind of don't need.
well,
Don't worry
that
about the
kitchen
cold.
fire is probably over there too. So
That's when I'll just prop my crossbow against the sofa. I imagine this is a sofa, and you
Yeah.
will probably notice the inscription on it at that point.
What?
there's an inscription written on.
that
his
was
crossbow
subordinate,
if you
like,
want-
that
But he's the only
that-
one that sees it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's so important. Would probably notice the inscription on the cross. So then, you all seem rather relaxed. I heard you told me you just came back from some adventures. I imagine just finally a little peace and quiet.
It's nice to be able to sit down.
Well, that's good. My philosophy in life is when you're working, you better work your damn ass off. But when you have a moment to relax, don't think about work too much. If you live too long thinking about work, it kind of possesses you in a way.
I mean, I'm a dwarf. You know, I get that long life deal.
And I'm an angel, so I kind of good as well. That's more. Sorry.
Serapha. You're both wrong.
I'm not sorry if I'm a dwarf.
No. I meant her. She's both wrong.
She's wrong twice, not both wrong. I was like, wait a minute.
They're both wrong. That's what I meant to say.
I know the wild magic aged me 8 years. I didn't know it changed my race.
No, yeah, you're a half elf. That is actually half dwarf, half elf. No, I'm just kidding.
Christ.
Yeah.
So she has a beard?
That
That
just
makes
got
sense.
weird.
Alright, back on track, guys. Back on track.
Nah, trip took a bit more out of me than anticipated, though.
That's not a shame.
Well,
Yeah.
you've got that wyvern egg, though.
Yeah, that's another thing we gotta deal with. So yeah, basically...
That's accounted for in the downtime coming up. Don't you guys worry your pretty little heads.
I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
everybody a turn here, so...
Oh yeah, I just remembered I'd like to buy something now I think about it.
Might have to do that during the week. Like whenever I
Okay.
take you aside and let you buy for your Secret Santa.
Okay.
Yeah. And Oscar, just in case you're wondering, you have 500 gold that is just kind of gifted towards you. And the gold can only be spent on the person that you've received. So that's all that gold can go towards. So make the most of it. And basically, we could talk it out of session.
I will keep the pouch that was given to me.
This pouch is not affected by your gold coin, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, but yeah. So you'll have 500 gold to put towards...
Hey, Razor.
The coin only affects the container that the coin is.
Got it.
Hey, Razor.
Yeah.
You should go to the kitchen and get, a small pot, put the coin in the pot, and leave the pot, far away from all the money. That way you actually can carry money.
But what if I want to use it?
Or we could bring it over to Minerva.
I happen to have a somewhat cordial relationship with Minerva at the moment.
Yeah, give
I'm
it to
not-
Minerva. I think it'd be hilarious.
She turned around and I put it back into my pocket when I wasn't looking. Just because she likes
So-
messing with people.
Quick question, quick interruption here. We are closing in on 3:30. Brett, do you need to go to work or anything this week?
At 3:50 is when I leave for work.
Alright.
Ready to get my work clothes.
Alright, so I just want to know when I need to start revving down. So yeah, you guys, is there any more conversation we're having here, or what's the situation? And we'll see.
Well, he just sat down and started talking about vampires and all, and then
yeah.
we
so-
tangented hard.
Yeah, I know. I like to see what we're gonna do with Luskin here, or Leslie.
Out of curiosity, do you know how to deal with vampires?
Well, most things stop moving if you cut their heads off, but
Or burn them.
Can I do an Arcana check when it comes to vampires, by the way? Or is that
Well, yeah,
I know how to. I'm pulling your leg a little bit to start.
but yeah, you can go ahead.
They don't handle running water too well. They don't like holy water much either.
I know nothing about vampires.
You haven't really like you're military. You just deal with what's in front of you, and it's usually a bunch of other people trying to kill you, not vampires. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Can I
So
roll
they're not-
Arcana as well, or no?
I think your chance is already gone. You know about vampires firsthand already, so
Okay.
whatever you know about them is what you know about them.
Then can't we stake it from the heart, maybe, with a wooden stake? Would that stop them or something like that?
I mean,
Jesse
you
and
guys-
DM or everyone else?
yeah, are you having this conversation?
I'm pretty sure vampires are still weak to staking in D&D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they
Out
are.
of character, they are.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Are you saying that out loud, or are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm saying that out loud.
All right, so
saying that
Sydney was
loud.
saying that to you.
At which point, my character just chuckles and pulls out a crossbow bow he made himself. Well, if I see any vampires, I'll just make sure to stab in one of these. I'm sure that'll work.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
has to be wood.
I understand, and I show that my crossbow bow is wooden.
No, might do the trick.
So,
That, and so long as you don't invite them into your place, they can't enter.
I just had this funny thought though. Smiles in a maid outfit. You guys invited me in, remember?
Oh,
She
shit.
wasn't a vampire at the time. That doesn't
Yeah,
carry over.
Are you sure?
She's no longer welcome either.
All right, I'll put that thought away. No worries.
That if she pops up in our house, I don't care what AOE horse shit I have to throw out to deal with her. I'm not in the mood for her.
Let me get a general let me get a general investigation check from everybody just to kind of give you an idea of current rumors. As you're all having this conversation, maybe we can add to it a little and see who's been listening and who's been just kind of going about their business. Leslin, Zareth, and Oscar. I don't know how Oscar heard about it, but maybe he heard a passing conversation as he was walking back in the house. But for the most part, the murders have kind of dried up. There's no real... The only thing that's been happening here lately is the scene where a bunch of hooligans are going around ambushing people, but it sounds like that's been quelled as well. And so far, like, the regalia guards that have been created to deal with this new uprising of chaos that's coming into the city seems to be making a move. Like, it's positive. It's definitely doing its work. So peace is kind of coming, but still this town has a lot of underdealing, so there's always danger, but you don't hear about anybody suffering here as much as you had in the previous month. So if that was like a fire starting conversation you can have, but like all the vampires are elsewhere.
And no, it's rather curious, despite the fact your little incident with those assassins. City's rather peaceful. Murder rate's gone down from what my guard friends have.
That would probably be because that old friend of ours left.
Old friend of
well,
yours?
Well, old friend of one of ours. Tried to be cordial with her, you know, give her a bit of a chance, but she decided to make a break for freedom and took the life of another guard on her way out.
Yeah. My apologies, but you're friends with some sort of murder.
But
we aren't.
old friend is used sarcastically if the subtext isn't coming through there.
more like an acquaintance.
Ah,
We ran into her, we apprehended her, handed her over, and she managed to break out nearly butt naked.
nah, dancing partner is what you mean. I understand. The old.
Well, you
There'll
don't.
be some dancing on her grave, that's
I'm
for
not going to be
sure.
open till 4, so do what you need, but leave the trash. I will get it. Sorry, guys. We got interrupted again.
Alright, well, I'm glad to hear that you're not actual friends with her. You all seem decent folk, and I think. Can I insight check?
Who do you want to insight?
Borden, because he's like being like. Eh.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
My answer is going to be the same no matter what you insight, so
yeah,
Nope.
He's hard to read. You can hold a
like,
chuckle.
I'll flat tell you, I don't like her. I don't like her one bit.
Yeah. You believe him.
Alright.
She shot me so many times with the freaking
Well, I'm still surprised that it took you like 4 arrows before you decided to leave that alley.
Sorry for trying to help and protect.
I was in cover at the time.
You weren't the one getting shot either, though.
No,
You weren't the one that got just about
I
dropped.
I was with Cindy at the time.
You were both like, wow, that's a thing. But yeah, so we need to get this conversation to an end, folks. What else are we talking about?
I mean, my character is always stuff to talk about. I was waiting for them to ask anything important.
Like, if we're gonna invite
What's on
him
the
in,
crossbow?
yeah, let's start paying attention to the guy in the front room, guys.
I've been in the front room the whole time,
I
so
know. I'm trying to.
I'll start going to the living space.
I'm just trying to corral you.
same
I'm
here.
not. I don't want to railroad you, but at the same time, I don't want a PC hanging. Like, hey, I'm waiting for my invite. You want to invite me to the party? Send the party invite already. Like, that's where we're at right now. Is what I'm feeling like. So start asking the hard questions if you were to hire him or something, or have him like approach you.
I mean, so much for the artful approach.
Well, I waited for you guys, and I'm closing up here soon, so the closing sign's getting ready to be turned. Is all I'm saying.
With that investigation roll, would I see the inscriptions on his crossbow?
It's really obvious when you get closer.
Yeah. You gotta move around. You guys kind of notice it. It's a crossbow, but it's got its.
It's
own
a
intrigue.
big frickin' crossbow.
So, what is the story behind that crossbow, and what are those symbols on it? Does it mean anything?
Ah, yeah. This is my crossbow that I carried during the Demon Wars. I made it myself. This little thing here saved me more times than I can count. I pull it up and pull it onto my lap and just show it off. The inscriptions are different on both sides. One time we were kind of stuck a bit behind enemy lines, you can say. We were just screwed. We were scattered, and demons everywhere.
So,
Things
you
everywhere.
got fucked, eh?
Well, some commanders are rather incompetent. So I just said a prayer to whoever would listen. Luckily, the Lady Light answered and allowed me to evoke a simple spell of light, but that allowed me to rally the troops to my side, and we made it out. After that, I had a dream in which a simple passage was said to me. I start running my finger along one of the engravings. And it says, and this is what the engraving is. The upper ones on the left, the other ones on. This is in primordial language I picked up when I was very, very young. But what it says is,
Also Greek.
yes, I know. But Greek looks cool.
But come on, it looks fancy.
No, it looks great.
And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it.
And that's both of them?
Yeah, like half says half, and the other half says the other half.
Okay. So
This
you
is like a
said-
Bible verse.
It is.
Okay.
But it sounds cool. This little here crossbow, I gave it the name after that, and I would just touch the tip of the crossbow, and it would cast a light cantrip on. This here is my light and shine in darkness. My preferred weapon of devastation if I need to use.
Kill! Fuck.
Wait, what?
That
you all right?
dog that we're sitting just sat down. Shit out of the car. God.
Oh no, we'll deal with that.
So, one distraction aside. Well, you've heard we're going after the murderer, and you mentioned you keep looking for work with the bounty. You'd be more than welcome to join us if you like. So we just unfortunately lost one of the fold, but It does present us with spare room, and you seem like a decent enough guy. I heard nothing but good from you, and Riley and Aram.
Join you. You want some crazy old elf like me around you?
Considering we've got one crazy half elf, one grumpy dwarf, and then the other two.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys figure out which crazy half elf I'm mentioning in particular.
I just look at Cindy.
Now, well, it's one crazy half elf and the other two. So whatever Cindy is worse than just plain old crazy.
You guys can divvy that one up however you like.
Well, truth be told, I have a bit of a moral compass. It's not as rigid as a lot of the sticks up my kin's arseholes. So long as we're not doing anything too shady, I could maybe consider lending my aid.
Not find much shade, no shady activity for me at least.
Well, you're welcome by me. And I need to go, actually, so adios.
Alright.
Bye.
And with that, unless there's any other approach you want to continue on.
I was just gonna say, can't speak for Sticky Fingers over there and sort of nod at Zareth, but
Well, I do what gets the job done.
I can understand that. Sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little. I understand.
it's a gentle ribbing, not an actual rebuke, Sticky Fingers.
So,
For you, John.
I imagine we can talk terms at length a little more. But sure, I'll give it a good thought.
That yeah, we are looking at some vampire hunting. That crossbow would be mighty useful.
Well, like I said, never fought a vampire before, but if it fights anything like a man, and if it bleeds, I can kill.
Well, I didn't see them bleed last time we met, but then again...
I don't think we did any actual bludgeoning or piercing damage to them last time. It was all radiant and fire.
Oh yeah, you
Well,
did.
guess I'm fucked.
Well, no, let's stay on track. We can table talk that later, all right? But trying to get to a point here. So we invited Luskin in. He's kind of accepted the agreement and everything.
A tentative business relationship.
All right.
It's like we'll discuss terms basically at the.
Yeah, and what I would like to do is, I think there's 2 more people I need to go through with the rest of the, like, offhanded stuff, and then next week we'll pick up with the, possibly Jubilee. We'll go through the soup kitchen, we'll go through, dealing with the mother and her child, but, maybe we could just fit in Oscar and Borden's, week. What would you like to do for your downtime during the week? And I'm sorry if I cut you off on that whole thing. I didn't mean to, but time constraints, and I'm just
Times.
yeah. And now that I finally got everybody kind of here, Borden or Oscar, who wants to go first?
You can go first.
That way he knows what to expect. So basically, 2 options. One, you can work on a particular thing related to your character, as in taking up a skill, taking up a feat, or taking training into something. And depending upon how you want to play that, I'll go over what it would take to do it. Like we had 3 skill checks to try to get trained in history, had a failure unfortunately, but he'll be able to try again next time. So that's something you can do. The second thing that you get a choice to do is pick a particular NPC or player character that you want to step off to the side, have a conversation with. One of those moments that you need to kind of alleviate that ideal. Like earlier we had Sydney go talk to the halfling that was up there at the wizard, trying to learn the spells, and she was trying to help him out. So, stuff like that. So Borden, what would we like to do?
See, I've got this wyvern egg,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't a snowball's chance in hell quite just yet to raise it successfully. I know it eats meat, and I know it can sting.
But yeah, the thing that you might not know, you might have to learn in books or find somebody who would know. How would you like to approach this problem?
So, I think what this is going to end up boiling down to is animal handling.
Are you trained in animal handling?
I am not.
So yeah, this might
So this will be
a combination
specific.
of you getting into animal handling. Like if you were a ranger, this would be a lot easier, but you don't have a ranger in the party, so you got to kind of do this for yourself. This is something you want to do. I would say
I am a ranger.
Oh.
Yeah, Zareth does have some
Do you have
some ranger in him.
But do you have animal handling as one of your?
No,
train-
I don't.
But you didn't train in the ranger stuff, so don't blame you. I wouldn't either. Just saying. But yeah.
Nope.
No, it's good. I would say with
I don't think anyone's here animal handling proficiency.
Yeah, like the only time it ever really comes up is when we're dealing with wild horses or some,
Wild horses, hell, the normal tamed ones we ride have enough issues.
Yeah, like even getting to know them at first, can be a problem, especially if you're not trained. You gotta learn by doing. But this is to get you access to animal handling. So I would say you spend your week on certain parts of your off time, not all of it, but like certain parts of it where you're looking for that person who could teach you more about dealing with animals. There's probably like a pet shop that's in this town that sells familiars to most people, like ferrets and dogs and cats, and then you got
See, because my thought was
and
the stable for riding dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's the actual training part of it there, and then like a pet shop for general care, raising, rearing style.
See, there's a couple avenues you could go and investigate. There's even further away avenues you can even take this if you want to, because Wyvern related to dragons. I mean, one thought that comes to mind is Fellbrand Outpost, where you guys met a bunch of Dragonborn. Maybe even Granny could teach you a thing or two, but that's a ride and a half on its own. That might waste some of your time out of town. But to keep it local...
Well, I can't be out of town in like the middle of the week because Soup Kitchen.
Exactly, so that kind of ruins your plans for that. I would say to advance things further, you might need to go there. But just to get the initial skill, I would say you can try book learning it. I'll let you choose either the pet shop that I mentioned or the stable hand who trains horses. But at the same time, how's that going to help you train a wyvern? Well, I guess.
Oh, you train the animals the same for the most part.
Basically, you're trying to get the training program down so that whenever it comes time to deal with the wyvern when it's born, you want to be ready.
When it hatches, I can feed it, care for it, and start to get it.
Now, what do you want to do? How are you going to learn to hibernate this thing, though? Or
to incubate?
Incubate, yeah, not hibernate.
That's part of why I've been sitting by this fire when you gave me the time to move around. Because I know you got to keep it warm.
All right.
Like that's a common knowledge. Reptiles and warmth.
Right. Give me just a general investigation. It's general, of course. So yeah, you done some research on your own to kind of get this egg situation, and you think you got the right conditions for it. Now, let's see here. Animal handling is going to be another matter. Is that based on wisdom, if I'm not mistaken?
It's a wisdom.
So you might actually do pretty good. Let's see what happens.
My modifier is the same as Lucellen's there.
Alright, so...
Lucellen.
Yeah. So, same DC rate. We're going to start it at a 10. So, roll me animal handling.
Oh, animal handling?
Yeah.
Because you did have him doing the skill, not the actual, or the stat, not the skill.
Yeah. Let's do wisdom. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll do. They're
actually the same modifier.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. Like I'm just thinking the skill getting initiated. So, pass first one. DC is now 14.
And here's where it all goes to hell. Oh, I'll be damned.
DC now goes to. you made that pass pretty good. It goes to 16. And that's where it goes
And
down.
that's where it went to hell. And I don't have lucky either, damn it.
Yeah, you had some good rolls there though too, so I don't want to take it all away from you. If this comes up again, you'll get 2 successes on the next roll, and same goes for him. Like he'll have 2 already advanced, and whenever you get that third advance and beat that DC, like you'll get to roll against that DC, and it'll go up if you don't hit it, but you might actually hit that DC before it goes up and actually learn it. But you'll get like 3 tries, but it escalates.
So there'll be 3 tries to pass the 16 DC now?
Well, it'll be 16. If you fail, it goes up to 18. If you fail that, it goes to 20. And then just one of those 3 is going to have to pass. Yeah. And
Okay.
then, yeah, because you're going to get 3 more rolls later on another, whenever we have another thing like this. But so far, you weren't able to get the animal handling down. So, just for a reference, both you and Lucilin, you could put down 2 success, 1 fail towards the skill that you're trying to train into, so that whenever you try to do it again, you've already got the work put in part way, and then you're just going to get 3 chances, but the DC is going to keep going up as you try to go for it if you fail. So, got a chance to get it off the bat, right off the first die. So, not bad odds, I don't think. But, yeah, you don't quite get the animal handling down, so you're just basically hoping this egg has no chance of hatching right away, so you can get more prepared for it. Is there any NPCs or players you want to interact with?
Are you in my sheet right now?
I'm not looking at your sheet, no.
Okay, it's acting fucky on something. As for NPCs, I know there's the soup kitchen event. I don't want to interfere with that.
Yeah, I mean, that one's going to be given to you, which will be next week. We're just going to finish up yours and...
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I'm going to need to talk to a smith to see if I can either get access to their facility, or if it's just like, we can, I can say the anvil and you just, here's how to get a furnace, running, because we do have, that shed in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just turn the shed into a hard workspace.
You know what I would do also? Like, we got the bakery ideal, and then having a backyard blacksmith that you might want to invest into can also be a thing.
Because I'm not complete crap with smith tools,
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have this on base. So, yeah, make a mental note to talk about this when you're ready to build your... we're going to do base building. Like, come up with residual incomes, come up with improving your own weapons. We can do that. And, like, Lesklin has a woodworking shop that he can use to also improve things as far as woodworking goes. So, so you want to talk to...
I need to talk to an NPC about either, hey, for the time being, I'm a steady hand with a hammer, and I'll offer to compensate, I'll help you with some repair or forging around here.
Now,
so I can use this in off hours.
Yeah, so what's going on with OneNote on my end is I cannot access any of the information about Timor Kingdom and what I had written down. So if I give you something that's unique...
There was a dwarf that ran it here. I know that.
Yeah.
Don't remember
his name. It was nearby. It was
it's a big city too, and we could probably come up with another one that's nearby. But for generalizing, I will say you find another dwarven smith who's kind of been working on armors mostly. I mean, he does a lot of kneading of the metals, getting them to mold out to where a body frame can actually fit into these things. And so you got a lot of ball peen hammers, a lot of molding tools to help hammer out this metal out. So it's not like blacksmithing, but you can definitely probably use your tools that you have to do the blacksmithing.
Yeah, I've got my own smith tools.
Yeah. So he sees that and he's like, just want to use it in the off hours? Well, I mean, I might have to charge you a little bit to keep the fire burning if you don't mind. just to go today, no big deal.
Oh, that's more than fine. You know.
Yeah, just to pay for the wood and all that. You can go right ahead there. I ain't got a problem with that, none, son. Maybe, what are you working on? Working on anything specific?
A buddy of mine asked me to make him something.
Oh, well, hey, would be lovely to see another dwarven work here and show us another good dwarven masterpiece. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he will pretty much for like however many days you wind up using it. I mean, we can figure that out later, but it'll be one gold piece per day. Just
Well,
to kind
I'm gonna have some like off the table chats with you about this.
Absolutely, we can do that. And just kind of mold it. Like, whenever I have that personal moment with all of you, you can, like, bring up this kind of stuff, too, and we can see if we can't hammer that out. So that...
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Didn't mean it, but yeah. We'll hammer that out whenever we get around to it. So that'll be table talk for me later. So, all we have left is Oscar. I've already gave you credit for all the scrolls you're writing down. So you have ability, feat, or a skill that you would like to obtain.
Well, ever since I heard downtime, I kind of got something I want to do.
What do you want to do?
After the first day, I'm going to teleport to the Arcana.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm going to join the Mages Guild.
Weren't you part of it already? Didn't you
No,
join
he
the
did not.
last time we were here?
I mentioned that I was interested in joining, and I would come back at a later date.
There you go. So you guys kind of notice it's been kind of empty for a couple days.
I figure he would have said something.
Yeah, Oscar,
Yeah, I'm going to say something
say
before I
so.
leave.
Then
Like,
do
I'm
that,
going to
please.
go to-
Please, because I'm just going off what you just said.
So, gonna cut back to where we're all talking in the living space.
All right.
I won't be here for the next week. I'll come back every 2 days just to check in, but
Just keep safe.
What are you up to?
I'm going to go attempt to expand my knowledge in the Arcana.
Ooh, I love this.
So, what, you're gonna lock yourself up in a library or something?
No. There's a skill I wish to master. I'll with any luck, I'll have it within I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. What is the skill you're trying to master, though?
I'm going to see if I can enchant things.
I think we will make that part of your initiation.
And I'm going to try to, I figured someone at the Arcana would be the best person to have.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do for you, and we can go into deeper detail, because you being at the Arcana at this moment, oh, the shit you can get into.
I sense bad times.
Well, we know there's some bad shit that happened recently. So, no, for the sake of you getting your skill, what we will do is Arcana check. And it's got to be a simple enchantment. So what item are you using? And what are you trying to enchant?
I'm going to use my dagger, and I'm going to try to get it to have the ability to use light on itself at will.
Alright, and so light is a spell you know, right?
And they're dancing light. But let's go with dancing lights.
How about cantrips? You got any cantrips you can put on the dagger?
Yeah, dancing lights.
Dancing light is
prestidigitation, message. Yeah.
I'm holding up my message dagger. Hey!
Well, a message earring would be nice.
You can put a name on a bullet, but to put an entire message in a dagger and then chuck it at someone, that's some points right there.
That's comedy.
Just because I don't really use dancing lights, and since we all have dark vision, I probably wouldn't go with that one.
Alright.
I'd probably go with infusing message to the user of the dagger, or the person holding the dagger can use message.
Alright. I'll bite. Arcana check. This is you
So
going through your week.
intelligence, since we're all
No, you want
stuff.
to roll Arcana. Trust
Yours
me.
is
If
Arcana.
you don't use
Okay.
Arcana, your intelligence will not make the DCs as easy because you are trained in
Okay.
Arcana. You're trained, right?
Yes.
I hope you are. First DC is a 12. Does not come out the way you want it. Now this ain't a failure completely. Your DC has jumped to 16 though. You met the DC. The 16 still remains as your next DC. You spend a week there trying to get this dagger to take the message. But the dagger's not accepting your message. It's like, no, I don't want to be your messenger. You know, just resisting the full enchantment that you're trying to imbue into it. So, for now, you're currently an initiate. You're not officially part of the Arcana. They know you're working on something. And your project is to make this enchantment work. And what I will allow, and you'll have to remember this, is every 2 or 3 days, game time, when you take a long rest, you'll have an opportunity to ask, hey, can I try to enchant this again? And I'll let you try to redeem yourself. You have one success. And I will reset the DC according to whenever you ask me.
Okay.
So take a note. And this is to try to get to enchant things. But that was... could have been better. Could have been better. But, yeah. So, going over to the Arcana, you do get a silver robe. Or not a silver robe, a gray robe. But you do not get the silver cord yet. The cord will be given to you once you become full-fledged, so...
I'll start wearing the silver robe around.
Or gold.
Or
Yeah, gray robe. The gray robe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you look a little different whenever you finally pop back over. But, yeah. You're officially an initiate inside the Arcana, so good for you. Good choice. I like it. And now, that was your skill. Is there an NPC during this week of your training that you're wanting to talk to, have a conversation with, get to know, try to figure out what's going on with this NPC?
Just beyond, making it like every couple of days, sending to Liana, just to make sure everything's okay.
Basic information you get from her, unless you want me to go through and roleplay it for you.
We're getting pretty close, so just...
Yeah. So she tells you everything's fine. Ninny's taking good care of her. You guys spend like a good part of the evening going back and forth, just abusing the shit out of the charges on these sending stones, and then I think they had charges. I'm not sure if what did I write for you on that?
You didn't.
Oh, so maybe they just sent. That's fine. So yeah, you guys abuse these things like cell phones, keeping in touch with each other during the evening hours, and she tells you, I'm eating well, I'm doing fine. Ninny's feeling a lot better. Crimsu's getting ready to do something. Apparently he needs Ninny's permission. I don't know what that's about. But it must be something big, so... but, her information is everything's good here. And she asks you about your health. How are you doing? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you doing the right thing? Are you eating well? Are you, she's doing like that whole, you better be taking care of yourself and not just worry about me routine.
Yeah, I'll mention the fact that I'm an initiate of the Arcana.
Wow. She chimes back saying, that's great. That's excellent. You are really doing something. That's awesome, brother. And she's just giving you the whole praise and everything, just giving you everything to support you. And she's like, I hope you do well. I mean, that's definitely an honorable group to be with. And with that, unless there's anything else you want to resolve next week, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Thursday.
Okay. Next week we will pick up on the events that were planned. We have a soup kitchen to deal with, gathering clothes. We have a whole resolution with the mother and her son. And who knows what else might happen next week. So, yeah. great session. Go ahead and say goodbye to the archives and anybody catching us live.
Bye, everybody.
Well, night, guys.
Goodbye.
And with that, do you hear the calling? No? Hello?
Well,
Calling?
no, it was nice and easy this tonight.
Oh yeah, there was no chaos this time. Well, you can always check us at Chaotic Calling. Ciao.